Bolo! Finally, Murray. How long has it been since we've seen fucking Bolo?
Probably when we did Enter the Dragon.
Enter the Dragon. And we have seen this man, the most amazing pecs I've ever seen.
Well, yeah, that's why he's got to show him in every
He's got
movie.
shoulders for days. I just want to.
Is he the only like jacked Asian guy in martial arts history?
I think so. I think 100%.
Everyone else got that wiry kind of Bruce Lee kind of.
Exactly.
Build.
And you know what? It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But then he's got your shoulders. He's broad. He's 2 times your shoulders though somehow. And you've got wide shoulders.
Yeah, and he's got a way smaller waist than I do though.
Well, Bolo trains his body a little sharper than you do. Yes. He's in nature more than you.
Right. I don't train in the nature enough.
No, you're always in the basements, dwelling, you know.
Yes, I'm a cellar dweller, you're right.
You're a sweller dweller.
Lurking.
Just lurking, waiting under the apron for your spot.
Right. Yes, exactly.
God, I can't believe this. We've had another terrible week in America. We've got shootings everywhere. We got all this bullshit happening. I got a little too drunk the other night. I had a horrible hangover. And then I woke up and I watched a little movie called Shootfighter, Fight to the Death. Terrible title, by the way. Not good. Doesn't roll off the tongue.
It tells you what happens.
Yeah. But then you get to see all kinds of kids straight out of Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Well,
everyone's talking about like Cobra Kai is like the reunion of Martin Cove and Billy Zabka. No, it's fucking Shootfighter.
They're incredible in this movie. I really loved both of them in this movie, but really the fucking star. The savior to my weekend, because I was feeling like shit yesterday until I saw babyface Bolo.
Rarity.
Who would have thought this man we've seen in a villain in so many movies could be...
He haunted your childhood, didn't he?
He haunted my childhood. I was 7 the first time I saw Bloodsport. Him popping his pecs, just fucking destroying John Claude.
Launch snot rockets on the fucking mat.
He wrecked Ogre. He broke his leg, wore his headband on his knee, just disgracing it. I believe he used that as a jizz rag, too.
Disgracing that Harley Davidson.
Well, we can't.
But you know what? But the thing is, we have to say who we have to thank for introducing this movie into our life.
And the two of us can't bolster Bolo's biceps by ourselves. There was a lot of bees. I can't believe I did that.
No, we got to bring in old friend. The trios match of life. This guy will always be our third partner. We're talking about a man, Paul, motherfucking London. He's back. Paul, what's going on?
Yeah. Give me your jacket. Yeah, I'm so honored that you guys have me here for the fight to the death. I think it's Shootfighter Fight to the Death. I don't think it's Fight Death. I think it's
okay.
Fight to the Death, which does kind of roll off the Bolo pecs a little smoother. Yeah. No, I'm honored. Thank you guys. This is a real treat.
I like that Boloplex instead of the Total Gym 2000 or the whatever that other Total Gym was called, the Boloplex. I don't think Bolo ever got into the home fitness market.
No, he should.
He went Norris all the way.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but normally, we treat our guests like a fine wine. We let people savor them for a while. Mm-hmm. But the last time we talked to Paul, he was like, people think Paul's just a fucking wrestler. He's not just a fucking wrestler. No. Paul is an expert on straight-to-video martial arts movies.
Right. He's like the Russell Crowe, Beautiful Mind. He's flipping through all of his catalog. He's got the binder full of VHS tapes.
And he recommended this movie to me. And it's on YouTube, and I highly recommend everybody watch it.
Oh, go to Dailymotion.
Dailymotion,
because the YouTube version is at like a -1 volume.
I know. I had it at 70 on my fucking TV.
Yeah, go to Dailymotion to get a normal volume.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice.
But this guy knows his fucking martial arts movies. And I was like, after I watched it, I was like, Griff, we got to get Paul back on because we have to talk about this movie. There's a scene, and we get to it. It blew my fucking mind. And I appreciate that because I'm jaded as fuck. I've seen it all. And whenever I see something where I'm like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Right.
I will be eternally grateful for Paul just for this one scene that we get to.
100%.
Because I never thought I'd ever see this scene in my life.
Yeah. Oh, how did you come across this movie?
I first of all, thank you guys for having me back on. I don't like wine, so I don't want to be compared to fine wine. I'd rather just be a fucking Big Mac, which you can have a couple times a week. So glad to be back on so soon for your dietary needs. I like to think that I'm a better martial arts straight to video historian than I am a wrestler. I'd like to be known more for that than for wrestling.
2 for 2 so far.
Well, that's all you'll be known for from now on at our show. Yeah.
Oh no, I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I think like you guys, I grew up with a healthy dose of the video store being my friend circle, and so this was definitely one of the videos that, and I feel bad for any kids that never experienced the home video store, because where else are you going to find why it's called straight to video? Films that you discovered based on like the cover alone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you flip it over and you'd have some still image of like someone making like a face or something that was just so funny. You're like,
Yep.
I have to see this, whatever it is. Like Undefeatable, you know what I mean? Like, I think,
Yes.
so this was one of those films that I saw at the video store that I rented and just immediately fell in love with it because it was so good. And who doesn't like William Zabka, from Karate Kid? Because Johnny was like such a classic,
Yeah.
kind of just a heel, you know what I mean, Karate Kid, and especially towards the end, because he's like, "You're all right, Lou Russo," and you kind of want to see more of this guy, but he obviously he only came back, I think, for like that smidge at the beginning of part 2, and which is always funny to me because I'm convinced that Chad McQueen was like, nah, fuck that. Because Dutch at the beginning of Karate Kid Part 2 has no involvement. You don't see his face. He's got his hat down. They clearly put some other blonde guy in there as Dutch in that parking lot scene at the beginning of Karate Kid 2. If you notice that, because Dutch was like the most vocal, like kick-ass in your face of the Cobra Kai guys, I think, next to Johnny. But he's completely hidden at the beginning of Karate Kid 2. So there's no way that's Chad McQueen. But you see Johnny at the beginning of Karate Kid 2. So I wanted to see more of William Zabka. You know what I mean? Like but you never. I don't think he did anything. He just kind of disappeared a little bit. I'm sure he did other things, but when I saw him on the cover of Shootfighter, I thought like, holy shit! Like he's the star of this. It looks like he's the lead, the main good guy. This looks badass,
Yeah.
So I had to rent it. Also, it had Bolo on the front, like you said, Chong Li. Go ahead, man. What were you gonna say?
Oh, it's just I don't know, something about those covers. You said it best, because
yeah.
I rented so many movies because I was like, oh, that's that bad guy. I need to see him get beat up again. And I like that you were like, I want to see this bad guy be a good guy. And Johnny in the William Zabka, he's fucking killing it as just an innocent child in the beginning of this
Who becomes
movie.
bloodthirsty.
I know his turn is incredible. That's one of the things I loved about this movie was like he goes from being this innocent. Yeah, he really does. I thought it was amazing. I didn't think this kid could do it, but he was incredible.
Well, you know why? Because he had his old Karate Kid co-star Martin Cove to inspire him.
Holy shit!
Which was even
Cove
more
was killing
incentive, right? Even more incentive. Even though I think he is like holding a katana blade and like a still shot on the back of this. So you're kind of like, is that Martin? Like, is that I don't think we really might not have known by name at the time, but like.
Yeah.
He was like a really incredible actor for a long time too. He appeared in an episode of The Incredible Hulk, the original Bill Bixby Incredible Hulk.
Watch that.
Yeah, where he's like a down on his luck boxer or something like that. It's really pretty fucking good.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say it's from the first season of The Incredible Hulk. So, but yeah, so you see these two guys who are from this cherished karate movie. And then you mix that in with the knockoff feature of all this string of tournament movies that I think were following in the footsteps of Bloodsport, which, any kid who grew up in the 80s into early 90s, obviously, who didn't see Bloodsport should be fighting to the death, in my opinion.
Right.
Because that's just a part of your childhood. So, you had this string of knockoff fight, to the death secret tournament type movies and stuff like that. So this is just like a perfect mixture for me. So immediately I rented it. I rented it so many times. And it was that movie that was always available, at the video store. It was not like I would go to rent Shootfighter. Like, I need my weekly dose of Shootfighter. What? It's not, who rented this? Like, go to the counter. Can you tell me who rented this movie? Because I need to know where they live, what their name is. No,
start the fan club.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, it was so good. And I think you see Bolo Yeung. Was it Yeung? Bolo Yeung, I think is his name.
It's Young, yeah.
So like he's in what, 2 Jean-Claude movies now, right? He had Bloodsport, and then he was in Double Impact. But like you said, in Double Impact,
okay.
Yeah, he's in Double Impact. He's a great. Again, he's like the bad guy, muscle henchman, very vicious.
Yeah.
He has the cut across his eye. I think there's like a scar on his face or something.
Just
very hard body, very hard face.
Did he get the name Bolo from Enter the Dragon? Because his character was named Bolo.
Right.
I thought they just. Yeah, I thought his name was Bolo, and they were just like, we're not going to confuse things. Your name's Bolo in this, too.
That would be my guess. Because that was where I first saw him, was Enter the Dragon.
Yep. Like you were saying, he's the most jacked Asian actor out there. Like, so he stands out.
He's incredible, yeah.
His son is also jacked. I don't know if you've seen his son, but he's like an Asian bodybuilder who dabbles, I think, in martial arts movies or something like that. But yeah, he's out there as well. I think his name Mini Bolo.
Baby Bolo.
Yeah, Baby Bolo, something like that. Yeah, he was jacked. You never saw another jacked Asian actor.
Right.
And he just mastered, and we'll get to this. Maybe you have some wisdom to share with us about, because Bolo doesn't speak English, so all the acting he does is facials and a couple little hand signals that might today look like white power symbols. Obviously, he's not doing that.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of great facials in this movie, which we need you to because it's part of your business that you used to do with the facials. Can you explain to our audience what are facials and what are good facials?
I think being a huge fan of Lon Chaney Sr., who made his career from vaudeville in the silent era, Universal. He's a fan of the opera, Hunchback of Notre Dame, London After Midnight, just countless horror films during the silent era. Your career was built on facials, you know what I mean? Because when there was no sound, emotion had to be conveyed through facial expressions, through the eyes, through body movements,
eye acting.
I mean, it really is. I think Bolo would have been a fantastic actor during the silent era. Because he shows a lot of those skills in Shootfighter. Aside from what'd you say? I think less than 5 actual lines, which are kind of jumbled, but he's got mostly.
He speaks a little Chinese in it too.
Yeah, he's got more grunts than. Oh yeah, he does. He speaks with the old Asian lady, I think, right? And they have
his mom.
Yeah,
his mom.
His mom. Yeah.
And I think they have subtitles, right, for us idiots.
Yep, they have
don't
subtitles.
Know Chinese.
It's your destiny, son.
Yeah. So overall, this, and then you have this slicked motorcycle ponytail looking kind of generic fighter guy. I think there's the 3 of them on the cover of the video. So,
okay.
And I think his name's Michael Bernardo, but I think he was actually is a martial artist. Although I know he appeared in a few other martial arts films at the time, but I'm not familiar with them as much. I know both Zabka and Michael Bernardo reappear in part 2, which that's a whole other.
Does anybody ever check their credentials? Because if you watch any trailer for a martial arts movie, it's like featuring 10-time world champion, whatever, and it's like some dude you never fucking heard of.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important. I think at the time, I think it meant more then. Well, now I think it's UFC. You know what I mean? Because you get these guys from UFC in these movies, and like none of them can act, except I mean, I guess Gina Carano would be like the best of the UFC crossovers. Certainly the biggest of the UFC crossovers. But at the time when UFC was early start, you had Ken Shamrock appear in a few movies. He was like in Champion. And he was in some other stuff early on. That was another video box cover, was like Ken Shamrock with this American flag. I think it was called Champions. And he was also in Scarecrow's Slayer 2. Scarecrow's Gone Wild is the tagline on that one.
Slayer.
I swear. It's got Ken Shamrock in it. But, I guess you could blame Hulk Hogan and Thunder in Paradise. Like, didn't he have that TV series, Thunder in Paradise? Like, they had a lot of these kind of like muscly crossover guys. Stallone used to do that a lot too. He'd bring in like wrestlers and like crossover guys for his early pictures.
Yeah. He had Terry Funk in a couple stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Over the top. So, how could I not rent this movie and fall in love with it, as you guys did as well? It's like a real hit. It's so good.
Right.
It's so good. So
I was super impressed because I came to this. I saw William Zabka, and I was just like, oh, he's just so good as like a good guy now. Like he's just
there's so much
sweet,
stuff going on in this movie.
Right.
It's like we're gonna be talking for 3 hours, people. Get the catheters out,
right?
Because there's just so much to talk.
We should
about.
stop with the build up now because we're gonna talk for too long when we get into the movie too. There's so many hair choices too that I have to talk about.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's get on with it. I mean, let's. I'm chomping at the bit.
All right. Well, let's just throw to that trailer for the movie that has great movie, awful title. We're talking about Shootfighter, Fight. What is it, Griff? Fight Death or Fight to the Death?
Fight to the Death.
There you go.
Fight to the death.
In the shadowy world of full-contact martial arts, there exists a new phenomenon that is sweeping the world. It is a competition more vicious and more deadly than any you have ever seen before.
What kind of fighting are we talking about?
It's called Shootfighter.
Shootfighter. Fight to the death.
I hope you bought your body bag.
Let the competition begin!
Where men fight to win. Or never fight again.
One night, $3,000. You gotta do this.
Shootfighter.
Let me quickly explain the rules. In the ring, there are no rules. There can be only one champion.
Starring martial arts wizard Bolo Yeung of Double Impact and Bloodsport, Martin Kove of Rambo, William Zabka of The Karate Kid, Marian Dabo from The Living Daylights, and introducing three-time world karate champion Michael Bernardo, Edward Albert of Getting Even, and 13 of the world's greatest, most electrifying masters of the martial arts.
The trap is set.
You're up. We should get the hell out of here.
It is a deadly game where survival depends on one simple rule: kill or be killed.
I don't waste my time with losers. You may return next month for the finals. But be advised, in the finals we use weapons.
Gentlemen, it's time.
Exploding with head-spinning martial arts action like nothing ever before brought to the screen.
Welcome to the finals. You're up next.
It's the ultimate hand-to-hand combat to the death.
Finish him.
Shootfighter. Fight to the death.
All right, Murray. I believe the last time we got to see a good, because fight rings are our thing.
Yeah, that's. I don't know if you know this, Paul, but it's always been my dream to get rich enough that I could have people fight to the death for my amusement. So we're always watching these movies. We're taking notes. We're like, do I want my layout this way? Do I want it that way?
And you've pointed out that, is this the origin of the octagon?
It really is it? Because this is pre-UFC, and there's an octagon in this movie.
Caged in and everything.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't be
that's
surprised.
a good question.
They had
Yeah.
similar dreams, and they're like, well, we can't actually fight to the death, but we can use this cage setup, octagon thing. It looks pretty cool. We'll take that.
Yeah.
Fuck, the original UFC practically was fights to the death. There was like no rules. You could hit a guy in the dick, and it's like you could.
Yeah, I love
I
it.
think the only thing you
Yeah.
couldn't do is eye gouge. I think is the only thing you couldn't.
Oh, wow.
It was true.
So-
Like a sumo versus a ninja, and he was like punching him repeatedly in the dick, and he like wouldn't let go of this move. And,
Jesus
this
Christ.
this is badass. This is like Street Fighter.
Yeah, this is
But-
really good shit. But
We talk about the layouts, Griff.
Yep.
I've always wondered what would be my look. I found it.
oh,
Martin Cove.
Martin Cole.
I want to have the Swayze mullet with the blonde
Dude,
highlights.
he is.
The scruff with
Oh.
a tuxedo.
I think you told me. There's a couple points I want to get to. First off, the last time we did a fucking tournament style international tournament fight to the death thing was Kickboxer 2. And
Garbage. No, not Kickboxer 2, Bloodsport 2.
or Bloodsport
That was
2. I
fucking
keep doing
garbage.
this. Bloodsport 2.
Yeah.
And it was fucking trash. They kept
Yeah.
featuring people that had nothing to do with the movie. So this is redemption because we get to see people, we get to see little arcs for them. They've come to a fruition. You know, they actually escalate and all that. But you're right, Martin Cove in this movie, and you said he was a late time addition.
Yeah, originally the guy who plays Tang, who was Lightning in Big Trouble in Little China,
Oh, nice. Okay.
James
he
Pack.
was the villain. Yeah, and so they were like, no, we got to amp it up. We got Zapka here.
That's James Pack,
Get-
who made his debut in a Lauren Avedon starring King of the Kickboxer.
Oh, King of the Kickboxer
Yeah,
is
King of
good.
the Kickboxer was fun,
That
but
was a good movie.
you know,
Yeah.
Lauren Avedon, yeah.
Come on, man.
Billy Blake
You know what?
stole the
That's it.
show.
Next time you're coming on, we're going to do a Lauren Avedon, and you're going to defend him.
Oh my
And
god.
we're going to see if you can. We're gonna offend him.
Yeah.
We're going to see who wins.
That's
Yeah.
all we're gonna
Well, I'm bringing Baywatch. I'm bringing it all.
All right.
So they hire they get Martin Cove. So you can because there's about 100 scenes of just Martin Cove reacting to shit happening off
it's
screen.
constantly cuts of the top heel or his champion or something, really fucking selling some shit, and then he turns, and then we get a nice Cove reaction shot of him being coy. His lighting is always beautiful. We got some nice Mexico filters happening all over the place because, of course, they do travel down into Tijuana.
Yeah.
So you got to hit that filter.
Right.
I mean,
But we start out in Hong Kong where it all began.
That's
Where
right.
Enter the Dragon.
exactly. Where Bolo. Oh, no, never mind. No.
And so we bring up, this is my dream, all the beautiful people of the world in tuxedos and evening gowns, watching people fight
Right.
to the death.
Again, I'm sorry to take this back to Bloodsport 2. Bloodsport 2's audience sucked.
Yeah.
They were peasants. And I'm sorry, peasants. You deserve to see fights at death, but you survive. You live that. You see fights at death around the hobo fire every night. We need highfalutin, high-stakes suits, ties, like the fucking grossest people. I want to see Elon Musk in the crowd with Grimes, you know? That's what I want.
Yeah.
And that's what we get.
Right. And we're seeing our boy, it starts out, Bolo. Shingo is his character.
Shingo, yeah.
name.
Oh, that's right, Shingo.
Yeah.
And he's just taking care of a jobber. He's just,
Beautiful white outfit on.
right.
He's not giving us the fucking
Well,
the
no, you
packs.
got to earn that.
You got to earn that.
Yeah.
And I was worried. I was like, holy shit. Second time through, I was like, do we not see Bolo without a shirt on in this movie? Because I don't know if I can handle this movie a second time if I don't get to see some some bolo
Some
packs.
bolo cleavage.
Yeah, a little bolo cleavage. We do. We get it a couple times.
Get some pack pops.
Yeah, it's on the
Well,
cover of the box. Come on, you gotta have him shirtless.
Hey, come on! I live in the internet age. I didn't get to see the cover of the box. I'm not going to the Blockbuster.
Come on.
And he's taking on a jobber effortlessly. He's just toying with him.
This is good. This is good.
But he does get the nice little trickle of blood down the side of his mouth.
Yeah, he got the trickle of blood.
And he takes care of the guy. And then I guess he's got like a student.
Oh,
Does he got a friend?
Yeah, I thought it was like a pupil of his of some sort, right?
Yeah.
There was some kind of connection here, but okay, I'm used to Bolo being the strong silent type, and he's kind of playing this very coy because I think after his match or something, the kid is very reminiscent to Bloodsport. He's like, yeah, I got Lee next. I'm going to take care of him, no problem. And he's like, Lee strong, because Bolo says very little things. Right. So, Lee strong. And the kid is just like, He
actually calls the movie Fight Death.
Fight Death, yes. That's where I got it from. And so, yeah, we get to see the student go in there with Lee.
Played by Martin Cove. Martin Cove's not just an owner; he's also a participant.
That's right.
And there's some bad blood because apparently I don't know. I thought he just had bad carpal tunnel because he's got the fucking carpal tunnel like brace on his arm.
Oh yeah. The wrist
no,
brace.
apparently there's We're being alluded to that maybe Shingo did that to his arm, and there's bad blood, so he's going to take it out on his students.
Yeah, a lot of this movie is held up by eye acting and facials, as we've talked about already.
Right.
Because we see a lot of shots of Lee just leering over at Shingo. And so there's a lot of that happening in this match where he's just fucking wrecking his student.
The samurai cop, Joe Marshall, is totally losing his mind because there's so much eye reading
he can't read those
on.
eyes because it's like being a non-native Spanish speaker. When you listen to a native Spanish speaker talk, you're just like, you're not saying words, you know? So even Joe Marshall is looking at these eyes. They're not even saying words. They're on a new level.
Right.
You know?
So
but
they start...
that says a lot for the script, though. You know, I wish I could get my hands on the original screenplay, you know, because I would love to see the direction on some of these things. You know, it's like just like facial expressions, second page, facial expressions, movement, intimidation.
Right.
Glare,
it's one whole page of just facial expression, facial expression, eyes. So Lee starts this fight with letting this kid just punch the shit out of him.
He's rope-a-doping him.
He's rope-a-doping him with his jaw. And he's got that perfect 5 o'clock shadow. Whose hair did you say he had?
He's got the Swayze fucking mane.
He's got the beautiful Swayze hair. He's actually in like a karate outfit or something. Or I think he had the pants on and no shirt.
I don't remember.
Maybe a pink sweater draped over, tied up.
Pink sweater,
Little Steel Justice action for you. But yeah, he's just taking it all in and just looking over at fucking Shingo.
Like this is what I'm going to give you.
Yeah, he's just like, hey, your boy's getting me here. You're winning. Look how much you're winning right now. And then he just turns the hat backwards. It's like flipping a switch. It's my Stallone. It was great.
You gotta shine them up some. You know what I mean? Even back then, like squash matches aren't entertaining. You know, so you have to shine up the babyface, give him a little bit of hope. And shut him down and kill him to the death.
Exactly. And, you know, this is high-stakes betting. This isn't a Pete Rose situation. You can bet on yourself. You can bet against yourself. So, who knows? Maybe Lee's betting against himself.
No, that makes sense that he's, like, making people, like, bet against him.
Where did we see that at? We saw that in Bloodsport where he was getting hit or something. Then he was like, how much money? Or was that Lionheart maybe? I forget what movie. We definitely watched a movie where he was letting himself get hit. And he was like, eh?
Could have been Lionheart.
It was Bruce Lee. It was the one where he wears the yellow outfit.
Game of Death?
Game of Death, the Bond, Roger Moore. Is that who was in
shit.
that? Which Bond guy was in that one?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
There was the white guy who was in Game of Death.
No, you're thinking Enter the Dragon. Was it?
Or Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, Enter the Dragon. Yeah, John Saxon.
John Saxon. Cause
Yeah.
Yeah, him and what's his name? God, I'm
right?
doing a great
And he's,
job.
he's betting
Yeah.
with,
him and Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly. Yeah. So I think there was a little bit of that happening with Lee, where he's getting punched and everything. He's like, Is the purse overflowing yet?
No, I think Paul was right. He's trying to give Shingo hope for his student.
Okay.
Like,
He's teasing Shingo. It's
Yeah.
all just fucking with things. Yeah.
it's
That
cat
makes
and
more
mouse.
sense.
Yeah. And then he's like, he turns it on. He hulks up. And then he gets the old carpal tunnel hand on the throat and just starts strangling the guy. And the referee's like, hey, it's over. Call it off.
I think IMDb called the ref the master.
Well, they were called the elders, I think.
Oh, the elders?
Were,
Okay.
yeah, something like that.
But everybody, like the audience goes quiet because this is apparently like a few years before our real story takes place. And so shoot fighting hasn't seen a death, apparently, in the ring.
Yeah, I don't
Isn't
think
it
this
kind of
one's
redundant?
good enough.
Is shoot fighting a redundant phrase? Because I mean, I know in the wrestling world, a shoot is a real fight and a work is a wrestling match. What technically is shoot fighting?
I think it's to the death.
Well, apparently not.
Yeah, because they don't.
Because
Yeah,
I don't
they
think they were
frown on
doing. I don't think they were doing. Well, I guess. Yeah, you're right. That you might have something here. You know what I mean? I think it's don't go until they're either dead or somehow you get stopped. Because like, what would they have been fighting to the end in this early tournament that's in Hong Kong or in Japan? Is that because like once he kills them, that's like a startling thing, right?
It was. Yeah. No.
Yeah, he rips the guy's throat out. He doesn't just kill him.
Yeah. He like the
in Bloodsport though, when Chong Li breaks that guy's neck though, and they all stand up and turn their backs, right? It's like dishonorable.
The elders, yeah.
Right. So it's dishonorable. But Lee, as the only American in this tournament, I think, what does he care? He's going to be on a flight back to America in no time. He's going to fucking kill this kid and send Shingo a message. Go back to the sporting goods store and get a refresh on his wrist brace.
Get some new gauze to put on there.
Yeah, it's all bloody now. He's got
some ointments. I mean, it's good.
By the way, there's some great gore in this movie too. You got to watch the unrated version of Shoot Fighter.
Yeah, there's prosthetics and everything, makeup happening here because the throat rip, it looked good.
Practical fucking effects, no CGI,
and single camera. I don't want any more of this quick cut bullshit. Like Martin Cove obviously has no martial arts skills.
As far as we know, we don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I
think the editing. Yeah. It looks good, and
because it looked like when he was fighting, he looks like boxing.
Yeah,
he wasn't really.
I think he definitely has a boxing background. He's a New York guy. You know what I mean? I think you're either.
He's definitely sucker punched some people.
Yeah, definitely.
But he kills fucking Shingo's student.
He stands up and calls out Shingo, "You're next. I'm gonna fucking wreck you." And then the elder referee, he's like, "Fuck no, you're not. You're out. Like, you can't murder a person.
You lost
here.
your Hong Kong privileges.
Yeah.
You can't come back.
Yeah, HK no more. Leave. Walk."
Your visa is revoked.
And then Lee just goes, "This isn't over." Cut to the credits. And we get that beautiful title, Shoot Fighter, Fight, Death.
Maybe death. If it's in the past, no death. If it's in the future, lots of death.
Right. So now we're in LA. And we see our hero, Ruben, played by William Zabka.
It's looking great.
Teaching the kids how to protect themselves.
He's one of the beautiful, innocent children from Step by Stepper, a show like that. You know, he's like Cody. You're just like, I love this kid. You know, he's just a nice kid.
Right. He's got the early 90s Ric Flair haircut, that floppy kind of parted down the middle thing.
Oh, boy. That's too accurate, actually.
There's a lot of 90s fashion going on.
Yeah.
I was shocked all the suits fit people. I was expecting the baggy ass fucking 90s
I can't wait
suits.
till we get to Animal, as I called him.
Oh, I
He's
love that guy.
The ogre lookalike with the fucking terracotta suit with the black mesh top.
Oh yeah! Oh my
Yeah.
god! Yeah, there's actually he's one of two actors in this film that were in Gymkata.
He was in Gymkata.
Yeah,
I don't
he was
remember
in
him in
Gymkata. He was.
He's got that dry fucking haystack Randy Savage hair going on.
He played
Wispy
Thor
and-
in Gymkata, who gets killed in the Crazy Village, and the little pig.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So he's one of the participants.
He was also in. I just watched it recently. What was it called? It was like Furious 5 or Fist 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this one of the Fast and the Furious movies?
No, it was actually better.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
good.
He played the same kind of role. But anyway, getting back to
Yeah.
Ruben.
He's got.
By the way, horrible name, Ruben. Great sandwich, horrible name.
Ruben
no
Patterson.
sauerkraut. Blah.
It's great. Fuck you.
Do you want to weigh in on sandwiches here? Make me
What's your
out to
opinion
be
on
more
sandwiches?
of a heel.
Griff hates them. I love them.
And what his girlfriend, I think, is like helping do the books or something for this school because they're trying to keep the school open.
Well, she's a woman. She can't fight. Come on. The 90s.
Her,
She just keeps the books.
I want to say her niece or something. She comes from a pretty 80s family as well. Something Dalbo or something. I think her niece or something was in either one of the Conan movies or something. But she's got some.
It was Conan the Destroyer. It's her sister. She was in one of the Timothy Dalton. She was the Bond girl for one of the Timothy Dalton Bond movies.
That's right. Living Daylights,
I
think.
Yeah. So she goes from Bond to Shootfighter. So her career's a little on the downslide.
It's gone somewhere.
Did you point it out, Griff? Wasn't her like English accent just coming and going?
She's got a
throughout the
Griff
movie?
accent, all right? She sometimes...
She is English in real life.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Because they do throw in a line where she's like, I'm just back from London.
Yeah, they just throw it like, I was 2 weeks. I just picked up this accent.
Yeah, and it's like, okay. But it was just like randomly. And again, the first time I watched it when I was doing the notes, I was watching the YouTube version where they're whispering. So the second time when I watched on Daily Motion where it has like the real volume, I was like, okay, she definitely is randomly going into a British accent and then going back into like not
Trying to do an American accent. But the point of this scene is we learned that the dojo, it's like they're losing money. They need to like make some money or the dojo's going to close.
Right.
What's going on with this thing? It's like does Shingo own this place, or is he just the master who just comes in every once in a while?
I understood it. Shingo owned it. He is the greatest entrepreneur I've ever known because he owns a kung fu or karate place, and then he owns a restaurant as well.
Right.
Is that how you understood it?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was. They might even be connected, like they share a door.
So
They might
you would
even share a door.
think you'd go to your Sifu and ask him for the loan, but no, he goes to a loan shark to get.
But he's got too much.
Well,
He doesn't want to let Shingo down. Like he should be. It shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
Like what Shingo taught him should be enough to make that school the standout, where the students are just coming in through the door. But that's apparently not the case.
What's the overhead on a mini mall dojo? Like, why are they so in debt? Are they just letting the kids learn for free? Is that how great they are?
he had a full class.
Yeah, and he's a babyface. You don't want to overcharge in that situation. It's better to find something that's reasonable for more students can come in and learn how to defend themselves with the art of karate.
Right.
Yeah.
And you get the little girl with the little trickle of blood. I've been hit in the face hard enough to have a nosebleed. It doesn't just trickle and stop at your fucking upper lip. All right,
Yeah.
I hate that. That's one of my pet peeves. It pours out. You look
Yeah.
like shit.
Yeah.
And so this little girl's got a little trickle, and she's like, "I got punched in the face."
We're going to call your mommy. No, you're not. Because she's going to cut me off of karate.
Right. And I need to learn how to kill.
I love this place. I need a shoot fight. That's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming to be that.
Oh my God! Can you imagine a sequel where it's just little kids in the fights to the death? How amazing that would be!
That sounds like some Thunderdome shit.
Yeah, that's like Rocky 5, isn't it, or whatever?
Jeez. I mean, we're all about like our Hunger Games and everything. Marie, that's our break-in. people went nuts for that Hunger Games, and then they had Battle Royale a while ago. We're going to do our idea of your fight ring, but it's going to be with children, but the parents...
I want babies. I want toddlers.
You want
Just throw weapons in the middle and see what happens.
These kids know kata somehow. Oh, I like the sound of this.
And that's the way we can... Because, look, we've been hearing the Supreme Court might get rid of abortion. We might have a lot of unwanted children going on.
Oh, Jesus.
So I'm just thinking of a way we can... The two birds with one stone. I
can
can make money... And we can get rid of.
I see the trailer already. Yeah. Roe v. Wade is overturned. Chung, 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 chung. Babies just multiplying, just fucking filling up the ocean. Even we don't know what to do with these babies. We're throwing them in the ocean, and then suddenly
one brave man comes up with an idea.
An entrepreneur. I haven't seen an entrepreneur like this as Martin Cove and Shootfighter.
And I'm totally looking like Martin Cove. I've got the fucking blonde highlights in my mullet. Got the scruff. I can fix your problem.
I'm sorry, Paul. We're movie makers. We just have to go on.
I think it's good. I think you provide the adrenochrome, the right audience there. They're all for it.
Oh, shit.
That's it.
You got it. He's gonna be Paul. You're gonna be our antagonist. You're gonna be a QAnoner.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Can I have a wrist brace on both wrists?
Hell yeah, you can. If you can sell it, and we know you can.
Oh, I will.
We saw the footage.
That's the cover. So I have children fight to the death, and I have my rich customers. They drink the adrenochrome afterwards.
Yeah. That's it.
This is
all falls into place.
This is so good. Oh, and Paul's trying to rat you out, but he can't get it over. And then you make him fight some of the children, and they overcome.
I put Paul in a cage with like 50 children. It's like rats just climbing on him.
That's what I imagine.
Chris,
midnight thought here.
Oh, this is getting good.
Oh. All right, guys, that's copyright. If we see it go anywhere, we're going to get our money's worth.
Right.
We got our lawyers on this one. Where are we? Oh, you know where we are? Nick rolls into town. This
Nick
looks
the Dick.
Straight out of Twin Peaks. We got fucking James on his motorcycle trying to be a badass. We see the close-up of the make. It's called like a glide something.
Like an electric glide.
Electric glide?
And to really hammer it home, the license plate says 66 glide.
Does it really?
Yeah, it was. These are the details. We pay attention to them.
Oh, that's good.
How can you be a badass when you have a vanity plate? Like, there's nothing lamer than a vanity plate. And here he is. Oh, I'm wearing my thick leather.
Yeah.
With my fucking scorpion.
He's got the fucking Steven Seagal Nang-Chan ponytail flapping back there.
This is...
Is he showing up? Is he at the karate studio yet? Is he showing up yet, or is it just?
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah,
because I'm trying to remember if he tries to light a cigarette like in the studio or outside the studio.
Oh it's in the studio because he's such a badass.
Yeah, like he walks in and if at
pulls
first
out his Newports, his Virginia Slims.
He greets apparently his sister Cheryl.
Yeah,
right.
They look nothing like related at all.
Well, she's apparently British, and he's she's straight out of Angel Town.
He's looking like a fucking baby Fender from Cyborg. I'm sorry. All he needs is the grimy fucking wraparound shades.
And I mean, I'll just add into that. Cyborg's future happens in 1 year, and the way this world is going, I believe that this is Baby Cyborg or Baby Fender.
Right. This is the origin story of Fender.
So I think we have to do Street Fighter 2 now. Shoot Fighter 2. God, it's just too close. We have to do Shoot Fighter 2 because I'm pretty sure there is going to be a Mad Max turn.
Right.
World War III starts, and
Armageddon happens.
Then Cyborg.
Yeah, then mind and just starts going fucking ape shit heel on everybody, huh?
I just want to see how he gets the chain link vest.
Shoot fight.
Oh, and the shades.
Yeah. I need to know how he gets the shades.
So we see that there's a little friendly rivalry between these two guys.
Nick and Ruben.
Hey, does he kick the pack off his head or something, or he kicks the cigarette out of his mouth? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, so after the quick greeting with his sister, she's like, I'm going to go home and make you guys the most elegant dinner.
Right, I'm a woman. My job is to cook and clean.
Right back
I'll be out of here.
Okay, I have a few complaints about this movie. Timeline's one of them. They fucked it up.
Oh my god, I got a lot of issues with the fucking tournament. That's AEW booking there, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, the booking is bad. The timelines are bad. They couldn't get those right.
Yeah.
This is like a perfect 7 out of 10. If they get the timelines right, 10 out of 10. This is a great movie. And so we're seeing it is clearly noon. It is high noon. You know, cowboys are out smoking their hand-rolled cigarettes and everything. And so he rolls in there. He says hi to his sister. His sister's like, oh, my God, I'm going to go start preparing dinner right now. It's going to take her 5 hours to get this dinner
Well, she has to
together.
bake a cake, too, which she does.
That's right. And it's a piece of cake to bake a pretty cake if you do the cooking by the book. So she's going to go home and do that. And this is where we get Nick and Ruben broing down like, I see things have changed about you. And he's trying to do like a tough guy. I've been living on the road.
Yeah, Nick's been out of town for 2 years because he got in a little bit of trouble and he had to leave town.
Yeah, Paul, what do you think that trouble was? What do you think he got into?
That's a tough call. I think he was either hawking bikes, trying to steal other people's vanity plates, or, might have been on the run. Because you see him ride a motorcycle at the beginning, but then they kind of play off of that. I think they kind of drift away from it. I'm not really sure why, but not the most charismatic. Yeah, not the most charismatic guy. He's kind of got an annoying voice.
Oh,
It's all in the it's all in the leather jacket. That's what he thinks the leather jacket can sell him.
It plays, and I hate to give it away. It plays into the Switch so well because I hated Nick.
Yeah,
I did not want
the
to
ponytail. I wanted him to die because I think he did a double fucking rubber band in the ponytail. I think there was 2.
At one point he did.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
It was
He's
frustrating.
definitely the dweeb of the movie. You know what I mean?
There was definitely some conditioner going on in that hair. Too.
Yeah, he slicked it up. He likes to keep it wet and in shape.
So this is what you were trying to get to because they step out onto the dojo floor. And the kids have all been released and everything, so it's just
been released.
Well, yeah, just get back out there, get in your feral children, whatever. They don't pay, so.
Yeah. But what kind of
And so
would light a cigarette indoors? What kind of prick?
Well,
is that?
this is 93.
93, you could do it. Paul.
Everybody was smoking indoors in 93. So that's Nick's. I mean, when you got a Nick fit.
Oh,
God, I hate that. I hate it. I know I did it, but I hate it.
Whips out his pack of Virginia Slims, and he's just like, I gotta hit it.
And Ruben says the same thing.
Right, Ruben kicks it out of his mouth. Goes, this is a no smoking dojo. Points to the sign.
I like his little toe wag too, because he tippy taps.
He did a Miami connection.
Yeah, he tippy tapped the cigarette, and then he with his toe he did a no.
Okay,
I'm gonna suck the toe polish off your nail or whatever the fuck.
Nail polish off your toe.
God damn.
Call back to last week's episode.
Jesus.
So then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna," because there's this. It's friendly rivalry, but it's a rivalry.
Yeah.
So Nick's like, I gotta get my face back. So he puts the Virginia Slim Pack on the top of that perfectly Ric Flair coiffed hair.
Oh yeah.
And he kicks it right off of Ruben's head.
Yeah. Now, Paul, you were a youth going through all the ninja courses and everything. Did you actually see a teenage pissing battle like this?
Well, actually, that was part of our training. Was we had those those Bob stand-up figures that you're supposed to train on. And
oh yeah.
Yeah, we would get cigarette packs to put on the top of that, and we'd have to kick it off to test up a belt. Yeah, and then eventually it moved on to like different things, pineapples and whatnot, which we see victimized later by Lee in this movie. But yeah, no, kicking off the top of the head. It goes back to what was that? Who was it shooting the apple off of the head with the arrow?
William Tell.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was the telling exercise.
Oh yeah, the telling exercise. We all know that one. We practiced the telling exercise before
That's
every
the only
podcast.
thing I was good at in my training was kicking cigarette back of people's head.
Yeah.
It was like, you guys are too young to remember, but there was a commercial, it was a battery commercial, and the guy, I can't remember his name, but he was another one of these like phony tough guys, and the thing was, he'd put the battery on his shoulder, he's like, go ahead, knock it off. I was like, okay, whatever, and he was on the Wild Wild West, the TV show. I can't remember his name, but he's one of those guys, probably like 5'6", who thought he was like a badass kind of guy.
But hey, on the screen he was 6'2".
Exactly.
So like a Duracell battery or like a car battery? I'm trying to picture.
It was like a D battery type.
Okay.
Oh, a D battery.
How did he keep a car battery on his shoulder? Right?
So Shingo is watching beautiful eye acting going on from Bolo.
This is the first shot we get, and I want to talk about hair in this movie. We've already talked about Ric Flair coiffed hair. We've already talked about Nick's horrible ponytail. We've done some hair already, and now we've got Shingo Bolo making his second appearance. We didn't talk about it in his first appearance, but in 8 years he has not changed his hair. Oh. He's got negative sideburns. So he starts cutting them way up into his skull.
From when he worked with Mr. Burns.
Yep, exactly. He was on the softball team. And then he's got the flowing mullet and like a pompadour in the front. Like, he's got a lot happening here.
Right.
But he's got...
It's classy. Wouldn't you want a restaurant entrepreneur, owner, martial arts master to like show a composed, stylish, coiffed kind of mullet? I think
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he looks clean.
I think
he
I
looks
would.
clean.
Yeah.
I feel like he would be one of those soup Nazi type interactions where I'd be really intimidated at first because he comes off timid. He's got a strong front. But then when he sees that you not only like pay with cash, because they all want you to pay with cash, but then you tip well too, he would soften up. And then he would do his little trick where he comes out with a bag and tells me to open my mouth without words. And then he would put a fortune cookie in my mouth. And I'd be like, I love this man. I'm recommending this restaurant to everybody. Right. Like, I am his guppy. He just going to feed me. I want that.
So he comes out, and Ruben's like, oh, you got to meet my Sifu. He's like, Sifu? Is Nick just a natural? Did he know? Was he trained at all?
Angel Town, he's from the streets, dog.
Okay. Because he's acting like you think you know what a Sifu is. I thought they were. I assumed these guys trained together at one time.
That's what I thought too. But apparently, it's all new to him.
See, that's what's even more surprising about the lighting up in the dojo thing. Going back to it, it's just, to me, that's like, what a douchebag friend. Like, if you have any martial arts background, you wouldn't even think twice about lighting up a cigarette in your friend's fledgling dojo. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Never mind that his boots were covered in mud and he was just grinding them into the mats.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Honestly, Seagal would never do that. I would like to think that they approached Seagal before they approached Bernardo, and Seagal just kind of laughed at them.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Dish just dripping on the mats. It's a mess.
I'm sure Bernardo was, or rather Seagal was like, all right, do I get to beat everybody? And they're like, no, you're actually going to have to fucking sell some shit. And he was like, not for me.
And you're going to learn from Japanese master or Asian Hong Kong master Bolo Yeung. I don't learn from anybody. Like, if anything, I'm teaching him.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. Second lesson would be him teaching. So everybody has to get permission. Everybody in this movie has to get permission from Shingo to do anything in their life.
Right.
Like, he is Charles in charge.
Yeah.
He is Shingo in charge.
Right. And like, see, we're just talking about how disrespectful Nick is. Nick's like, because obviously Ruben respects his master. He's like, is it okay if I take the afternoon off? Yeah, fuck training, man. We got to go party. I haven't been in town in 2 years.
Right. Ruben is trying to get into the Nationals. That's the best in the nation.
Right.
And America is the best nation, so it's the best of the best.
Right.
So you got to train.
Right. But Sifu, he's like, he sees how important this Nick character is to Ruben. So he's like, yes, you may go party this afternoon.
He says all of that with his eyes in a nod. Yeah. So Murray is.
I think he grunts once.
He does grunt once.
He grunts a lot in this movie, I think.
He does, but it doesn't play out so well on a podcast if we just go. We got to dictate it for him.
So we cut to what's Lee been up to? He got banished from Hong Kong.
Again, I want to remind everybody
from America.
Yeah, exactly.
The elders have control of America too.
Yeah.
I thought it was he goes to Tijuana because that's where anything goes. I mean, they opened the shoot fighting thing with a donkey show. They go crazy down there. So,
Come
and we know we're in Tijuana, Griff. Why? Because there's a yellow filter. Everybody knows. We learned this from our mechanic episode.
Yep.
You want to sell Mexico to people because they didn't go to fucking Mexico.
No.
You just put a yellow filter on it because that's what the air apparently looks like in Mexico. It's yellow.
That's all I know about Mexico. It's got yellow air.
The dirty filter.
We see that he's got his own little ring set up, his little fight ring in Tijuana.
Yeah, we quickly learned that it's his own fight ring. Didn't he get the same ref?
Well, we get Gerald Nakamura for the second week in
right.
a row.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was Akamura.
Yeah.
We've been talking him up so much lately.
Well, yes.
Here he is again.
Right. He's ubiquitous. He's in everything.
He is
When they can't get Al Leong, they go, get me Akamura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's great. He's still got the same facial hair, like the mustache split in the middle with just the little wispy sides. Oh, he's looking great. I love him. And he knows the refs in this movie are really good. We're about to get to another ref when they do their little gymnasium tournament.
Right.
That guy was good, too.
I loved his shirt. It said macho on it.
Yeah, I loved it, too. He looked like a high school tournament gym teacher.
Right.
And I'm sorry, everything about this movie just felt so good. Anyways.
Wait, that's product placement. That's is that the first product placement or one of the only product placements in it? Because Macho was like a reputable martial arts brand for equipment.
Well, me and Murray were not, baby ninjas like you, so we didn't know about this Macho business.
I thought it was just the word macho.
Some of my
okay.
I think my first sparring gear was Macho. Actually, it was made by Macho.
No shit.
Yes.
Endorsements right in front of us.
Yeah, endorsements. I'm telling you, they were not above product placement. Even though we don't see the brand of the cigarettes or were they actually Virginia Slims. I mean,
we're Virginia Slims.
I just keep going back to these cigarettes.
It's come a long way, baby. Yeah.
So offended by this Nick the Dick fuckwad.
Well, they're trying to sell him as kind of a fuck up, so it works.
It works.
That's true.
He gets humbled later on.
But go hang out with him, Ruben, instead of Train. Yeah, I'm a good Sifu. Okay. Yeah. Back to Mexico.
Back to Mexico.
Lee's got the great. I like this. I think I want to be on a throne too because he's got like a throne thing set up.
Oh no! I imagine you have a throne with a gong behind you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then
shirtless guy, sash holding his pants up.
Right.
And
I just make like a hand gesture and he hits the gong to let us know.
It's Bolo's little that's now white power side.
All right. And we see even Tijuana has beautiful rich people because rich people just have a bloodlust. I didn't know this.
Well, we see it in the UFC now. There's nothing but beautiful people in the UFC crowd. If you watch
everybody, when I watch UFC, it's nothing but tuxedos.
It's not the trashy people or like I work at Kroger.
It's not affliction T-shirts and like a backward baseball cap. It's tuxedos.
The one time,
even the celebrities look like shit. Nobody's dressing up in UFC.
The one time me and Murray went to a Ring of Honor show a couple of years ago, there was this chick who was just standing up behind us, and she just started screaming out. I don't remember who it was to.
It was he's from here. I think it was the Motor City Machine Guns or something like that. He's from here. I know that.
But wasn't she yelling out like, "I want to suck your fucking dick"?
She's by her boyfriend. She's like, "I'll suck your fucking dick." You got to remember, this is when everybody bailed on Ring of Honor, like the Bucks and everything. So it was a sparse crowd.
Yeah.
So which was cool because we were like right up on. We actually got on TV on one of the episodes in the audience, but you did it because there was this fat black guy standing in front of you.
That guy was hilarious though. The show was about him actually.
But this chick just screams out, "I'll suck your dick." We were talking about ring mats earlier, by the way, but
that might have been the last of them.
Right.
Yeah.
She no-sells it. The boyfriend's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
And then he brings up like, "You might have been picked up. You work at Kroger's."
Yeah, no, she says nobody who shops at the Kroger I work at.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Oh my god. No one.
Yeah.
Oh wait, he replied.
Sorry.
He replied. I think you're talking about Alex Shelley. He's awesome.
Yes, that was the guy. Yeah.
Very cool guy.
No, he didn't reply. He no sold it. He didn't.
No,
do anything.
he didn't.
I don't think he even heard her actually.
Yeah.
It's more like he just probably knows. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was she came out and said that. She's like, "Oh, nobody who shops at the Kroger I work at is here."
Me and Murray were just cackling for it. We go to so many live shows and we find ourselves cackling about all the people around us. We love it.
Well, see,
All right,
garbage
so we're-
like that would never be allowed inside Lee's fight ring down in Tijuana.
Oh.
He wants the classiest of the classiest, like the tip of the top, the cartel's clients. I mean, that's what you see down there. You know, it's very reminiscent of the early brawl fight scene in Lionheart, where you have the fancy crowd party goers, right? And you have the
in the parking garage.
yeah, exactly.
Murray, you complimented the fuck out of the booker for that, though.
Oh, yeah, I did like that because you're kind of like roving around. You're not stuck in
all
one
kinds
place.
of environments.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was more of a shoot fight than anything.
Yeah.
That was really just shot wherever they could get. But I do want to bring up, because I was getting into Lionheart territory with the crowd, and you brought up those crowds and everything. Did you guys notice the lady in the red sequin dress?
No, I did not.
She was at the front of the cage in almost every fight, and she was wearing a bra, and she's like fucking throwing her arms up. Tits are bouncing everywhere. I'm like, I know this woman. I know those bouncing tits from anything. That was the blood chick from Lionheart. The
She
one
gets
who got
around. Wow.
the one that got blood on her face, and she was just like,
I thought
first
she got
offended,
blood on her tits, and then she like.
and then
licked it.
suddenly she's like licking it.
If that, so the guy that she's with in Lionheart. So is this? That's actually the same girl that's in Shoot Fighter. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I
This
love
girl
it.
gets around.
She was one of
it's
the
weird.
early shoot rats. Octorats.
Called shoot sluts, by the way.
Oh my god.
All right, so we've done 15 minutes on the crowd.
Well, no, the funny thing is like that the guy who she's with in Lionheart, I can't remember his first name, but his last name is
Oh my God, you know him though.
his last name is Bender. He's Tarantino's top producer. William Bender or something.
The fuck?
Yeah, he produced
Wow, that's
Reservoir
interesting.
Dogs, Pulp Fiction. He produced all those movies. This was right before he did all that. William Bender, God, I can't remember his name, but that's Tarantino's like right-hand guy. And apparently he was
Fucking
like
nuts.
asked about Lionheart and was like just didn't want anything to do with it. Like he was just embarrassed apparently that he was in Lionheart. He's the like, I could kick this guy's ass. It's that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, huge Hollywood producer. Huge.
That's insane.
Yeah. And that's funny.
All right.
I heard that on the commentary for Lionheart.
Oh, okay.
It was like a behind the scenes or something, but yeah, like they mentioned that, and pretty crazy.
Dang. So we're getting into our first match, of this new shoot fight style, because we're about to learn that the rules have changed since I guess. What's his name? I guess Lee has taken over it because now suddenly.
Changed. I mean, if you're because now you can go to Mexico, you can kill people. People don't know that. If you want to kill someone and get away with it, go to Mexico. Go to Tijuana, okay? You can fucking kill someone and get away with it and just do it for fun. You'll get paid for it. You'll have red tits girl in the front row cheering you on. No repercussions. that's
Exactly.
what Lee
I mean,
wanted to build. And he's built it beautifully.
think about the value that's happening here, because it's like AEW keeps you there for fucking Dark and then Rampage and then Elevation and then the main show.
Yeah, Mike Tyson yawning during matches. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
exactly. 8 hours of the same wrestling match over and over. No, go to Tijuana and you get a cockfight to open the thing. Then you get the donkey show, and then you get blood fighting to the death.
Yeah.
That's what the value's at.
And if you stick
And
around
so-
after midnight, you'll get the adrenochrome cocktail. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
it's
the
all
adrenochrome
right
cocktail.
there. It's all ready for you, and some churros
And-
on the side.
There you go. And god damn it,
The churros are free too.
if you're one of the ladies who likes the guys fighting, Shoot Sluts is still very live and well at this time, so you can
The shoot slut scene was off the chain.
There's a dick for you to suck.
Yeah.
It's behind the dumpster. Be careful about the Angel Town crew that's back there, though. We see them later in the movie, but yeah.
So we're
getting new rules and everything because now weapons are allowed.
Right.
So is this supposed to be January? Because the finals happen in January.
I don't know. I lost track.
Again,
of all time.
timelines in this movie make no sense.
No.
They don't matter.
Well, now
they don't need it.
Yeah, what also makes no sense is we build up a character who does absolutely fuck all. He doesn't even compete in the tournament at the end.
This sucked because I really like this guy's match. What'd you say his name was?
Kong.
Did you like Kong, Paul?
Wait, which one was he? Is this was he the black guy?
There are two black guys. I think there was one black guy with an eye patch.
Yeah.
I think is the other guy. And then I believe Kong was the guy with the do-rag.
Blue and white pants with the do-rag.
Is he skinny and like kind of ripped?
Yep.
Yeah.
Skinny ripped.
That's Hakeem Alston, and he was in Masters, that martial arts show. I don't know if you remember Masters. But
I think I did watch
that. He was in quite a lot of. He was in Blood Moon with Gary Daniels and young Rob Van Dam. Yeah, but he was in a lot. He popped up in a lot of martial arts movies. His name is Hakeem Alston, and I think he eventually becomes part of Lee's. He's like one of Lee's circle henchmen or something, isn't he? He becomes one of his. Yeah. Okay.
He's his champ.
Yeah,
he's one of the guys.
Yeah, he's a
while he's fighting. Yeah. He's about to win it right here. So this is supposed to be the finals. I don't know if they do 2 of these a year, but we learned that they do the finals in January.
Okay.
The timelines don't work out at all for it to somehow wrap back around to January. So, anyways, we're seeing that now we
don't know how long Ruben and Nick train.
I mean,
montage.
Shootfighter might take place over the course of a year.
It might. We can't tell because the hair never changes.
No.
The only thing that changed.
Weather doesn't change because they're in the West Coast.
Yeah.
So, we can't tell.
Mexico.
Okay, so we're getting our. This is the final match, and we get was that eye patch guy and then our champion Kong.
Yeah.
And immediately, there's like an outside referee who drops a couple of weapons into the ring. So finals has weapons.
Right. One guy, Kong picks up a couple of size. I don't remember what eye patch got. But I don't know. I think he got swords or some knives or some shit.
Maybe it was
the commas. It's like a stick with the blade on it. Looks like a mini.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, a little like mini scythe type thing.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
Okay.
Yep. So all I remember is Kong easily handling his opponent, and he's fucking just stomp. He's doing Rudy Ray rub outs on him and everything, and he's just getting the crowd amped up because I remember him just like stomping and then turning.
He's
the
a showman,
crowd. Yeah, exactly. And he's looking over at Lee, and Lee is just kind of like doing like a nice
another post-production reaction shot from Martin Cove.
Just great reaction shots and that perfect like Mexico filtered sunlight and everything. It's so good. It works with his shadow and his Sway's hair. It's so good.
I'm convinced that they shot all of Martin Cove's scenes in like 3 days.
Probably.
I agree with you.
And he probably got 6 figures for that
a week. Yeah, definitely less than
I don't know about that. Yeah.
Well, it's
I know that
in Mexican currency, so it's in pesos. Like
pesos.
Mostly in Mexico, we're going to pay you in Mexican. So if you don't mind, he's like, yeah, well, that works. After Karate Kid, things go well. Yeah, no, yes, thank you.
We got this cocaine off our cab driver for $20. So you can have that. You can have 3,000 pesos and a couple Mexicokes
and a shoot slot.
Keep the pineapple.
And a pineapple.
That's how he got the scar on his face.
That's
but we're gonna need the wrist brace back. Actually, that's part of props.
Right. Can't even let him have that for a memory.
Yeah.
But you're great. He slices. I don't know, but I've never used a size. Size to me look like they're dull and they're used for stabbing because he slices the guy's throat with a size.
I
Paul,
think
is that what's
kid,
that?
yeah, as a kid, you always associated these weapons with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know what I mean? So like the size were Raphael, the katana blades, Leonardo, the bow staff, Donatello, and the nunchuckas for Michelangelo.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want to beat the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle video game, you always play Donatello with the staff.
Yeah.
It's longer, right? Like you can
Exactly.
hit. Yeah, no, that was always good.
Hitbox for the staff actually goes behind you too, so you can hit things behind you, shooting in front of you.
Right. So
See, I've never seen a size sharpening scene, so like I don't really, you know what I mean. So I've always thought that they were just like dull, dull prongs. Which, if you think about
like skewers,
like I would rather they were sharpened because it would. You know, like imagine being stabbed with like a spoon, you know, in your ribs or something like that. Would fucking that would fucking hurt so much more.
Right.
So, but I think that's also why they were so twirly, you know, with them, just because it was like there's no risk of being cut by your own weapon. But is that what he got the size or he got the commas? Because I thought he like cuts the guy's throat, doesn't he, or something?
Yeah, Kong cuts his throat with a sai. That's why I was asking the question.
Oh, that's fucking weird.
I just love how the fact
we have sharpened in Mexico. They sharpen their size.
We have 3 pages of notes, and we're like 2 paragraphs into this fucking movie.
We're gonna have to pick up the pace a little bit.
Yeah. That's cute. Okay, so back in America.
Yep, you're right. No, you're right. We're back in America. We gotta go to a bar fight now.
Yeah, we're at the bar.
Lone Shark. And he likes him.
We're getting fucking Ruben has that classic 90s look with a t-shirt with the vest. Ugh. And they're broing up, and then we get these redneck cowboys. Because it's a redneck bar. I don't know why these guys decide to go to redneck bar. It's the only bar in town. I don't know. But they're playing a little pool. And then these rednecks come in and start saying, hey, we want to fuck your girlfriend and all this shit. And Ruben's getting hot. And Nick's like, hey, chill, man. Don't. Somehow, I guess he learned a lot in that 2 years out of town about, like, being, like, chill because he's trying to calm the situation.
Yeah,
okay, let's just leave.
I got in a fight with these guys after I stole their vanity plates. It's not worth it. Okay,
right.
You don't need to fight everybody. You don't have to kill a man to win. Oh, a little foreshadowing. Have we ever seen a bar fight scene that didn't involve the pool table or pool cue sticks? Or
you got to have the cue sticks. That's a requisite. You got to have it.
I'd love to see a martial arts bar fight in a scene where they are playing.
They're throwing darts or something.
Yeah, don't use anything. Like, use the jukebox, use the darts, put them in a swirly, but like, don't use anything pool table related.
I mean, use the hot dog. We saw Seagal do it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But who
he waved a hot dog.
The pool cue. It's Nick, I think, or one of them. I thought twirls it or something.
I think it was Nick. Yeah,
Nick. Yeah, because even later in the movie, you see it come back around. He practices.
Well, they're walking out. They're ready. They're like Serenity now, then someone drops the F-bomb on you. It ain't worth fighting unless somebody calls you queer, and then you're like, those are fighting words.
It's like calling Marty McFly chicken. You know what I mean? You just don't call Ruben the F word. Did they actually drop the F-bomb there?
They did. They hit a hard F.
That's tasty. You gotta love it, especially because it was the time. Very acceptable.
Yeah, it is very 93. This is very early.
Well, it ain't acceptable to Nick and Ruben because that sets them off, and they just fucking they go right beeline for the cue sticks.
They get very cute about it. They're like, you know what? I think I'm ready for another round.
Oh, that's right.
Who's gonna break them? I'm gonna break them. And then they're like, yeah, it's very cute. And then Ruben does like a kick where he kicks behind them and throat chops somebody with the pool cue in the throat, and it's a quick fight.
Yeah,
like they don't linger on their fights.
Well,
which is good.
Just some fucking shitheel rednecks. They should be able to take these
exactly.
guys out,
like this should be a squash, and it is.
Right.
I would have
And then
liked
they
to
get
them like a Double Dragon spinoff too. I think they would have been a much better Double Dragon than Mark Dacascos and Scott Wolf. But that's just on a side note. Sorry, go ahead.
I haven't seen that movie in forever, and I think you're right about that.
they hop in the car because Cheryl's making that dinner that they're like 5 hours late for.
So again, timelines here.
Yeah.
They left the dojo at noon. They went to a bar in the afternoon. They leave there clearly 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It is not that late. So,
by the way, one of the barmaids goes, "Nick, nice to see you're back in town."
Right. It was quiet when you weren't around. So we're getting little clues about what Nick was about. And apparently he was a rowdy.
He was a hothead.
Yeah, he was in bar fights a lot.
Right.
And so he's willing to turn the shoulder too. He's gone.
That's another movie all in itself. What was he doing in those 2 years?
I know, right?
It explains why they went to the Hick bar, because that was apparently Nick's old hangout. So, you know.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that explains. Okay. So they get back in the car, 3:00 p.m. And they got to drive 9 hours to get back home because it's night when they get back home.
Right.
But they have to have a little conversation first, and we get to see our baby boy Ruben, who is just beautiful and innocent. This perfect Ric Flair coiffed hair.
Right, and he's just like.
Well, see, I'll explain the timeline. The dojo is in L.A., but Ruben and his girl actually live in Nevada.
Hey, man, if you ever been to L.A. traffic, you could, take 5 hours to
you're
get.
making some sense out of this.
Well, there's no taxes in Nevada, no income tax, you know what I mean? So it's hard enough keeping the dojo open in California, but can they live there as well? Fuck no. So I think they live in Nevada, but anyways, go ahead.
Okay, so
desert training later, isn't there? Like some canyon mountain training later. So
I remember
they're probably in Utah for that one. I got a Revenge of the Ninja kind of vibe. So they're talking it's like, I've never been in a fight before. Look, I have an erection, and he's like, I don't want to see that, man. And it's like, I got to fight my owner. I love to fucking hurt people. I just realized
there's something about no points, violence, blood. Like, I'm into this. And Nick's like, hey, you be careful with that, or you have to skip town for 2 years. So adding a little more.
Is that the statute of limitations? You had to leave for 2 years? And come
I guess so.
Yeah, okay.
I can't tell you how much I hate fucking pretending to teach children and enjoy it.
I want to teach them how offense, not defense.
That's right. I should be teaching them how to kill, how to dismember and maim. Nothing.
So
we learned a little piece of information. Those weren't just ordinary rednecks. Those guys work for the loan shark that Ruben had to take a loan out for.
Because like Paul brought up, I mean, if this studio is in L.A., the taxes on it are incredible.
Oh yeah,
and so of course, and you can't just go to Shingo because Shingo's too sweet, innocent, strong. You know, you've got to look tough in front of him. So
he's got horrible credit because, like you said, he only takes cash only.
He takes cash.
Nobody knows.
Shingo's also probably flipping the note on his Chinese restaurant. So, you don't want to really hammer him down with asking for money. That's
maybe, that might be.
He's probably got a lot of illegal family members working there. He doesn't want any heat on him.
His mom is the head chef.
Right.
Right. And he does give the fortune cookies away.
That's right. He forces you to eat your own fortune. Like, you don't even get to see what the little paper thing was inside.
That's an interesting point you bring up there. He does really force it down your throat. Maybe that makes it stronger of a fortune. Like
you're not supposed to tell anybody your fortune, right? So that way it stays within you the whole time. Something there. I'm going to start eating cookies that way. Just eat the whole thing without...
And your luck will change. Those lucky numbers, you'll suddenly think of numbers and you'll just bet on them and they'll work because you didn't look at the slip of paper.
Yeah, you'll get the occasional word in Mandarin or Chinese on the back that you'll never use. You'll be able to that's how you learn Chinese, actually, is you eat the words.
You eat it, yeah.
And then it comes right back out, right?
I've been eating a Spanish dictionary for a long time, and I still can't speak Spanish.
I am reading the back of a fortune right now, and apparently it says to learn Chinese, the word fork is cha zi. I don't know. I don't think that's right. But I have some lucky numbers. I'll keep this to myself. And I won't tell you the fortune because I need this one to come true.
Don't put that in the universe.
First of all, we know they don't use forks; they use chopsticks.
Yeah,
So
come
we
on.
know it's a bogus fork.
That's for
Yeah.
Americans.
Leg
Yeah.
bullshit. God damn it! I knew he ripped me off.
So they finally get home. It's like midnight.
It's Nevada. Paul brought it up. It's Nevada.
And they don't. I think they don't do daylight savings. I don't know, but
That's Arizona.
okay. Maybe they're in Arizona.
Maybe they are.
All I know is they're finally home, and they go. We see a cake that's it's moldy now. They've been gone for so long.
Did you notice the salad?
I did not notice.
It was
the
a black
salad.
Caesar salad. I saw the tomatoes.
It was a black Caesar salad.
She made a black Caesar salad.
Covered, drenched in balsamic.
That's it.
Beautiful.
What else did she make that took so long? What else did she make? Because that's a gourmet salad.
Yeah, it was a fresh salad and a fresh cake, but that's all she spent time on because there was just open cans of spinach and SpaghettiOs. With the lid. She didn't even take the lids completely
And not even the
off.
one with the hot dog bits. It was just regular old spaghetti.
That's the one for you?
No, I hate all spaghetti. It's gross. I'm glad you brought that up. 'Cause we were talking about Chef Boyardee a lot
God
for some
damn it.
reason. So I had a ravioli recently. Tasted like fucking garbage. It was the worst shit I've had.
Paul, do you want to weigh in on Chef Boyardee?
I have a gluten intolerance, so I haven't had Chef Boyardee in forever, but I don't want these memories tarnished. I remember enjoying my Chef Boyardee.
We all did when we were kids. It's garbage.
Yeah, but it's good garbage, man. It's like neon tomato paste and shitty noodle. Yeah. What is it? An overboard? Kurt Russell makes like SpaghettiO surprise or something. He like crushes the crackers into spaghetti. Anyways, it's white trash. Who's kidding me here? Come on. It's white trash. I think that was symbolism to show just how down on their luck they are. You know, that they're having to spend all this money on cake ingredients and salad.
Yeah. They're in a rough place. They can barely afford their dojo. They're going
living in
to
Angel
loan
Town.
sharks. They're living in Angel Town. It's rough.
on the wrong side of the road.
Right.
Speaking of dangerous, we cut to a locker room. We see a guy that Paul knows very well. He's got a very big part in another movie that Paul and we're going to do with Paul later on.
Speaking of Raphael
Exactly.
himself, Raphael from the original Ninja Turtles movies. Like, yeah, that's Ken Scott.
This fucking nerd played the most badass turtle, Raphael.
That's incredible.
What the fuck?
That's who's in the Ninja Turtle outfit. I have his book, actually, somewhere around here. He put out a book a couple years ago. Yeah, he's got a book. And he's the star of Showdown.
Yeah. What's the book about? Who gives a shit what this guy has to say about it?
It's like about his rise to becoming into like the ninja. It's mostly about the Ninja Turtle stuff. But
It's his rise to becoming a Ninja Turtle, or he was not seen.
yeah, I think he came from the East Coast, and it's like about his adventure and trying to be an action star in Hollywood, and something, some odd. I don't really remember. I think he lives in Dallas now. He's like some sort of coach. I'm not really
All I
sure,
know is he
but
was
Ken
5
Scott.
feet tall.
And he had the unfortunate. Yeah.
You know you're small when you look small on a movie because everybody looks tall in a movie. This guy looks small in the movie. And he's ripped. I'll give him that much.
Yeah.
But he's skinny.
He's blooding by the eye. He's like all bloodied, isn't he? And he's who approaches him? Is it James Pax, the
Tang.
Asian guy?
Yeah, it's Tang, yeah.
Right, with his cigarette. I think he's got like the nice hip, like Miami Vice suit with like cigarette or so. He's
The ascot?
Yeah,
he's got like an ascot or a chief
right.
going on there. It is
Yeah.
tense.
I think it was a cravat.
Yeah, cravat.
yeah.
And this is where we first see the dude with the Macho Man haystack hair and you said the terracotta. I said it was a pumpkin soup. You said terracotta
Pumpkin,
soup.
copper, terracotta. It's that earthy tone, you know. But then
Earth tones were big in the 90s. I will say that. I remember mustard green was a very popular color.
I'm
in
a
the
big
90s.
fan of the green, of the yellow. I liked his suit here, and then he's got the frayed Macho Man, blonde hair, big old wraparound shades, and then a black Danzig
Like,
mesh
little
top.
goth going on.
Yeah, there's so many things happening.
And our boy, what's his name? Eddie? Was the character name Eddie?
Eddie.
He's like, I'm not going back. I'm not fighting to the death. And Tang's pissed off because
So we're still we just saw the finals.
Was this another finals? Because they say you can't quit at the finals.
At the finals. Any other time you can quit. So again, timelines are my argument with this movie, Mike.
Or was that what they were just telling Ruben and Nick, that you can quit at any time? Because that was just a ruse to get Shingo to come out.
Maybe.
Okay.
All I know is we just saw the finals. We just saw a champion get crowned. Now we're doing this thing with Eddie, where he's getting...
There's actually a press conference. This is like the most above-ground, underground fight scene. They actually give him an attaché case full of money. $250,000.
That was later on.
Yeah.
And that was behind closed doors, too.
Yeah.
So they recorded it, but it was to sell their tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have the underground tapes. That's true.
Yeah. Tape traders were big back then.
Yeah.
Jim tells us about that all the time.
Yeah.
All right. Where are we at with this?
He's refusing to go out, and Tang's like, that's not going to happen. You're going out there, or you're going to die.
So we see half-priced Ogre beat the
Macho
shit
Man.
out.
He's like, not going to happen, brother.
He's got his Slim Jims hanging out of his mouth.
Like, step into it! And he snaps that guy's neck. He just bashes his face in the locker. He's like, these guys having... He's having Showdown memories from when he was in high school.
Yeah.
He's just getting pumped. Do you think this is the same character, Paul? Is this the same character from Showdown?
I think it was like an older twin brother, because this is, well, actually, no, it might have been, actually, because I think Showdown was 93 or 94 as well. But that guy was in high school. So, I don't know, maybe he dropped out of high school in Arizona and traveled down to Mexico to try his hands at the, like Billy Blanks trained him so well. He, stood up for himself. He's a badass now. So why not go to Mexico and test your luck at the fight to the death?
Don't need luck if you're a badass. Ruben teaches us that.
Right. Speaking of Ruben.
Yeah.
It's the big Rec Center tournament day, everybody. Macho gear everywhere.
Which we learned is real.
Yes. That's the great thing about our show, Griff. Even we learn on our show.
Learn.
We're not just teachers,
That's
we're
right.
students.
Yeah, exactly.
So we see Ruben handling his guy really well, because Ruben's a master of tournament fighting. He's got that down pat. He knows how to score the points.
Exactly. And so we're getting like a little play here with his little bar fight and everything, and the rush of no points, no rules, just fun. You think he went to Outback Steakhouse, but no, he just had a street fight.
Right.
And he's really into it.
Right. And we see Nick, apparently anybody can get in this fight. He just comes into town. He's like, I'm in the tournament.
Yeah.
Like, all right, go.
Not enough school fighters. That's what this is. School fighting.
Bob Shot. That's his name. Sorry. Bob Shot. That's the big ogre's name. Anyways.
Yeah.
Right.
Credited as bodyguard.
Okay, we'll call him bodyguard from now on, because he just disappears in this movie too. We're waiting for the big fight with this guy. Disappears.
This should have been a Nick fight later in the movie, and it wasn't. They fucking amp him up as this huge fucking ogre character, and then they just disappear.
Apparently the money ran out. He's like, I'm going back to L.A. Fuck you guys.
I'm sick of getting paid in pesos and fucking shoot fight sluts.
Sorry, ogre, but we got Martin Cove. We can't afford you.
Yeah, Nick's getting all the hot shoot fight sluts. I don't want to stick around. Like, I don't want 2 threes. I want a 6.
Not gonna happen, brother.
Not gonna happen.
You work for free. Not gonna happen, brother. So Shingo's noticing Nick. He's like, this kid's got some potential.
Right.
How long is, I guess, Ruben's only been learning under Shingo for 2 years. Do you think that Nick would know Shingo? I guess once again, timelines. People talk about Doctor Strange and shit not making sense with time and space. Time and space makes no sense in this movie.
Exactly. It's very weird.
There's no cell phones, so like, what's to say that Ruben and Nick weren't on like just like a written letter basis at this point, or if they'd even really spoken at all? But they're just such good friends that you could go 2 years without talking to somebody. When you see each other again, you're hitting it off just like old times.
Right.
Yeah.
So who wins the tournament?
Well,
Ruben-
see, after this match, they all kind of get together and they're like having a laugh together, and then it's like, you and me next, big boy. You know, we're gonna have the super match, the match for all matches, because it's the two of them, and since he's left 2 years ago, they haven't really sparred together. And they're like, Nick's a big showboater. He's trying to come off as the Fonz. He's a tough guy, you know?
Right.
Yeah, big tough guy. And so it was like, yeah, you think you're going to beat me. And so I guess Cheryl comes out and she's just like, hey, Nick, check this out. I've got a friend. So Nick's sister is hooking him up with her friend. Yeah. And this is where we get to meet Jill.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just want to say, I'm being totally honest. I'm not even
enthusiasm
joking.
through the roof, right?
I'm not even joking. I thought this actress was like Lou Ferrigno, like hard of hearing.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the way she talks. Like, hi there, I'm Jill. And I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, great. They're hiring a deaf actress. That's a great thing to do.
Yeah.
No, she just doesn't know how to talk. She's what is she on, like Havasoma?
Like Havasoma, yeah.
Because she's just fucked up on something.
I would be willing to think that she was pretty fresh into America after, you know, like, I don't know that maybe she was promised stardom if you come to America. I mean, I don't know if I feel like English is not her first language, I guess is what I'm saying.
I don't even think it's her second language. I don't know what those she's saying.
Well, you know, they say some ladies have resting bitch face. She has resting sleepy face. Resting rest face, if you will.
Resting rest face.
Because she definitely looks sleepy all the time.
Yeah.
She's got that droopy kind of sexual appeal to her.
She kind of talks like Droopy the dog from the cartoon.
Yeah.
Hey there.
Funny thing is, this is her fourth or fifth movie, apparently. She was also...
That's incredible.
Yeah. But she had small roles. This is her first role with a name, like a name for the character.
In lines, I hope. I could see her.
You should have gave her some eye actings from Shingo.
Yeah.
I mean, so this might have been her first time, I think, talking on camera, is my guess.
Or talking, period. I don't know, because it's pretty rough.
Definitely.
So we'll keep track of the interaction.
Are we sure she didn't have the implant?
The cochlear implant?
Yeah.
So let's keep track of the interactions here, because she has just met Nick. And in a minute here, she's going to be like, he's incredible. I like him so much.
He's incredible. I like
Jesus
him
Murray.
much.
But... So they meet. Nick looks at her like he has just seen a girl for the first time in his life and realized he's attracted to women. And so it gets broken up because, like, hey, we got to go fight now. It's the final match of the tournament. And so Nick his head is in the clouds because he's thinking about girls for the very first time in his, 23-year-old life. And they spar up. I think Nick gets the first punch in, and then Ruben gets the second punch, or I probably got those.
While they're fighting, we got to point out another of Lee's henchmen, Mr. C.
Mr. C, and he's great. He's like a half-price Ray Wise.
Right? Yeah, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
half-price Ray Wise, and they do a good job with all the quick shots of just the henchmen, the evil people, just looking at people, just lurking, like so good, and so. He just happened to be scouting a local tournament in a gymnasium, and he happens to find two fucking studs.
It happens.
Think about that. So he sees the match. Ruben does win this match. Well, we'll just go ahead and throw that out there.
Because he's a tournament fighter.
Exactly. He's a tournament fighter. He's not a shoot fighter. Oh.
So they're like... Once again, then they're supposed to go back and do some more training. Master Shingo comes out. He's so proud of his baby boys.
Yeah, he's in there. He's collected around Jill and Cheryl and Ruben and Nick, and they're all just kind of like broing down. Nick's a little upset that he lost, but not like pissy about it. He's just kind of like, I should have won.
Right. And they're like, Sifu, can we fuck off the training and just go out and have dinner?
It wasn't about training. Jill wanted to go with them, but she's like, I got to work. And we're like, work? What do you mean? The dojo's closed. Well, Jill works for
Shingo's mom.
yeah, at the restaurant.
Right.
That's right.
And so, yeah, she begs him for the day off, and he's like, of course.
Greatest guy.
Timelines are about to be fucked with all over the place here. This is the most confusing timeline that's about to happen.
Well, he says, of course, and then he throws up the old white power, okay, son.
Yep. And okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and take the reins here because this is where it gets fucky. So we cut over to Mr. Lee, Martin Cove, and he's sitting in his office with a photo that just happened.
Yeah, that's the story.
Yes, 1 second ago, this photo happened. And in '93, they did not, I know this is going to be hard for a lot of you to believe, have cell phones with cameras on them to take pictures and immediately send them wherever the fuck Mr. Lee's operation.
Tijuana.
In Tijuana.
There's no Polaroid in that scene either.
Yeah. And
no, these were developed pictures. Yeah,
they were
these were
developed.
8x10,
Glossy.
Yeah,
framed and everything.
it was in a frame. It's true. Yeah,
Production.
I'm sorry, this timeline is so fucking weird. And so he's like, there he is. And Shingo doing the white power with his friends. Jill's in there who
you could do that in '93.
Yeah, that's true.
That, yeah.
Just being introduced, Jill there doing the white power too. She was really into it as well. And then we get the reveal of his carpal tunnel wrist guard. And he's like, finally, Shingo has revealed himself. And again, 1 second. How did this photo get over? But he's like, I got him. I finally got him. Get me those 2 kids. I want them to train under me.
Because that will draw out Shingo. Because you know Shingo would never accept his challenge. Because Shingo gave up shoot fighting.
Right. And so I wrote in the notes next day, because that's the only way this makes sense. No, this is not the next day. This is that day. So the fight happens. A picture is taken. It makes it to Tijuana.
That's true, because it's still at the rec center. Yeah.
Mr. C goes with it, comes all the way back before the boys get out of the locker room. Guys,
long shower.
they were doing a little extracurriculars in that shower, clearly.
Little ass grab, yeah.
Yeah.
Soap
dropped a lot.
Yeah. They were taking a Tango and Cash shower with all the fucking heads going.
Oh my god.
So Mr. C has now traveled all the way back from Tijuana with Mr. Lee's message about how he needs these guys to fight. And he's even got a nice, beautiful underground tape footage of a recent fight of Kong's.
Yeah.
So he's telling these kids, he's like, hey. And somehow Shingo's like nowhere to be seen for
well, somebody's got to run the dojo because they're fucking around all the time.
Or the restaurant. It could be either.
Yeah, you can't leave it up to Jill. She'll fuck everything up.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Jill is. I mean, it's gonna take her 9 hours to get there because she's gonna walk or something, and we know she's droopy. Or
yeah,
yeah, she's droopy.
Yeah, droopy. So Mr. C, he's driving a hard bargain with these kids. He's like, oh god, you kids are so good at what you do. We got this little tournament just starting up, and they're like, well, we've never heard of it.
We got a promotion starting up.
It's just starting up, so we're in Tijuana. That doesn't make a lot of sense. It's kind of ugly over there.
Real yellow.
We understand, but it's a little too sophisticated for the American audience. It's like you guys drink that bullshit high fructose Coca-Cola, and we've got that Mexican Coke over there. And they're like, oh yeah, you're right about that. And so there's just
classy Coca.
Mr. C knows how to sell, Mr. Sell, if you will.
Yeah.
And so these kids are like, well, I don't know. I mean, is there like some big dollars involved? How about $1,500, win or lose?
Was it 50? I thought it was $1,000.
$1,500 is what they start at.
Okay.
And out of nowhere, that's good
win
money
or
for
lose
93.
is pretty damn good because I would just fucking have a guy punch me and fall down, and then I get my $1,000.
There you go. Right.
I have no pride. I would do that. So they're like, Ruben's licking his lips immediately. Nick's he's a little leery of this. He doesn't like because it sounds too good to be true.
Well, here's what I see in these two characters. Nick has had a little bit of battle. He's had a little internal struggle. Ruben has been handed he's a pretty boy. He's been given, like, everything is just laid out in front of him.
Sifu lets him do whatever the fuck he wants.
Sifu, Cheryl walked into his life. He's got a house. He's got everything just made for him. Just path opened up for him. Nick's had a struggle
He's
for
been
it.
living underneath fucking overpasses for the past 2 years.
Nick's had to warm some buttholes and everything. So he's like, I don't know about this. I've seen some deals, some shady deals. Like, I thought I gave a guy a carrot to warm my butthole, and I ended up in his butthole. Like, it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. You don't get.
I think that would be the better option, wouldn't it?
Hey, man.
I thought somebody was going to fuck me. I want to fuck you now.
Look, Murray, you think of this in the wrong way. Some people like their butt pleasured. So
I thought we just established that Nick liked Jill because he felt. You think he just discovered he was straight at that moment? He saw Jill of all people.
I think he saw Jill.
She is the worst thing. A big nose and a weak chin. That's the worst combination. You don't want that.
I didn't notice that.
The gummy features.
Is this how they got you into wrestling? Did some shady guy come up and give you a tape, and you're like, "Yes, this is what I want." $1,500.
I think that's how John Moxley got into wrestling.
It was $15.
And you had to pay him.
Hey, I don't want to take any more tangents, but I have to ask you this so I'm gonna forget. Have you ever crossed paths with Nick Gage, the garbage wrestler?
No. Fortunately not.
Okay, I never even heard of that guy until they had that special about him. I was like, this guy is fucking a nut job.
The dark side of the ring.
Yeah. Anyway,
all right. Let's
well, feel good about yourself because he's a fucking psychopath.
Let's go back to Nevada, where we're gonna have a nice tape night. Chinese food from Siafu.
Nothing gets girls hotter than death matches.
Yeah.
Free Chinese food, by the way. Free Chinese. I would imagine it was free from Shingo's restaurant.
I have to admit. At least
no, it gives a discount.
Jill brought it, trying to make herself. She's like, I know you think I look gummy, but I brought food. And I can't imagine Nick or Jill are really too picky when it comes to a significant other, So, like, obviously there's a mutual attraction there.
Out of convenience.
Lowered expectations.
Yeah.
So like Ruben's like, hey guys, how about we put some death matches on right now? This is a John Moxley thing here. They probably get his wife.
There was a pizza cutter involved.
Yeah.
We're watching Kong, and this is the first image we get of the highlighter pants.
Yes, sweatpants with colored duct tape on the fucking front, like reflector tape.
Oh,
what was up with that?
Oh yeah, these are the outfits, aren't they? The Shootfighter outfits.
Yes, these are the teams. They couldn't think of any cooler way to sell the teams. No, black sweatpants with highlighting tape on them.
Love it.
It's rough. Yeah, it's rough. So it's Cheryl's the first one. She's like, can we maybe put on something else? SNL's coming on pretty soon, and it's hilarious. Shannon, I don't remember.
Dana Carvey. He's
Dana Carvey. I can't think of anyone in the 93 cast. Adam Sandler is hilarious. No, babe. We're watching a fight. This is man shit. You go do the dishes like a woman.
Yeah.
And so Cher's... she's like, oh,
this is how we're going to do it. So shut up, make more cake, and listen.
Yeah, make more cake. That's all they have is ingredients for cake. So, of course, let's go make another cake.
Spaghetti-O cake.
Does anybody die in this match, or just beat up? Okay.
It's heavily edited, and you can see that. Like, you get fucking
quick cuts.
Yeah,
shaky cam.
Exactly. You get a lot of shaky cam. You get a lot of different.
The editor, he wanted to edit this to entice them, not to scare them away.
Exactly.
Mr. C stands for Mr. Cut.
Mr.
Cut. Yeah.
So,
Jill also joins Cheryl in the kitchen, and she
knows her place.
It has been somehow only 5 hours since she's met Nick, but also 5 days because of the Tijuana trip that happened in between. Maybe she was in the...
Maybe there's like a portal or something Mr. C goes through.
Maybe there's some trash logs happening
madness,
here.
I would say.
Yeah. but something happened with the time rift, and she has spent so much time with Nick because she's in the kitchen like, I got to tell you, your brother is something.
I think I love him.
And Cheryl's like, what, really? Yeah. She's been around him for maybe 2 hours now, and she's like, I like him a lot. So maybe she's into, maybe she's into tight ponytails,
Conditioner in the hair?
Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
The conditioner smells so good.
He has custom-made license plate, very sexy.
I want him to 66 my glide my 66. I don't know what that would mean, but
while they're doing their silly women talk, we got the guys doing the serious man talk, and they're like, "Look, man, we could get $3K in just one day."
Yeah, me and you combined.
How much money? Did they ever say how much money fucking Ruben needs? How much he?
No, they never bring up how much money he needs. They just insinuate when he gets his first payday, he's like, we're almost there. We just got to do this like a couple more times, and this is easy. Because they fucking threw jobbers at him in the first match we're about to get on.
They were literally like elderly men.
In 5 hours when we get to the first match they have here. Like, we'll learn about it.
But Nick's like, look, this ain't tournament fighting.
There's no points.
Shoot fighting.
There's no refs. Like, we're going to be out on a limb here.
You can't handle it, bro. And that just sets fucking Ruben off. He's like, oh, yeah, I think I can. So now... we're at the press conference.
This is what you were all excited about.
We're at the contract signing, and it's Kong, and he's the new champion of the latest tournament
that happens in January, but it's somehow 5 months.
Apparently, all these guys that back Lee, I don't know who all these like guys in suits are. Or they're just big
they just
fans.
had to fill out this room.
Okay,
it was good filler.
There's nothing more exciting than nothing more exciting than contract signing.
Yeah,
except giving somebody money. So they got the attache case, they open it up, $250,000. We got JJ Dillon in the back, flushing a couple on his chest.
Oh yeah, that
great.
Yeah,
really selling it. I was like, that's really $250,000. Because JJ wouldn't lie to me.
JJ wouldn't react that way if it wasn't.
He actually pulled his glasses down and put them back up.
Whew. And now one of my favorite little montages. The boys, they're going to skip town. They're going to head down to Mexico.
But first, got to stop for a burrito break.
A little bit of that California Mexican food.
Yeah,
you're going to Mexico. Like, we're not getting those burritos. They don't know how to make burritos in Mexico.
We got to get them in California. SoCal burrito.
Has some sushi in it and everything.
Oh,
this is where we also find out that maybe Nick was away because he might have had a urinary tract infection and he needed some sort of other assistance medically. Who knows? Because we see that he has a very small bladder.
He's got to empty his catheter. He would never last one of our episodes.
That's right.
He would be alone. So they stop at like a fucking park to eat their burritos.
Right.
And apparently some drifter / goon notices them.
Because Nick is staring. Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say, if you're getting money from a loan shark, you're gonna make sure that this loan shark has, upper class henchmen working for him, not just your average hobo. Because the hobos are running rampant all over LA, so you never know when one of these hobos might secretly be working for the loan shark, and that's what happens in this case. When I used to call this guy Wig Fighter because he had easily the funniest wig in the entire movie, in my opinion. I mean, he looks like
it's incredible.
He's Joe Dirt, dude.
It's Joe Dirt.
And he comes up, and this is where I think the dialogue starts to really get good. Like, honestly, because he comes up, Ruben's eating his burrito, and actually, I think Nick isn't a fan of his burrito, and he kind of shuffles it to Ruben when he goes to take a piss.
Yeah,
he's like, "I gotta go take a piss." Ruben's like, "Yeah, man, you have the bladder the size of a golf ball or something like that." Then we see this random caveman hobo dirt guy walk up with his hair like blown up by a blow dry. Like it's. I mean, I don't know how he gets his fucking hair. It's really fucking dirty, right?
He's basically a roadie for Great White. He was the guy that lit off the fireworks that blew up the fucking building, and Great White played it.
There we go.
And then like, Ruben's starting to really get into the aggressive mindset, trying to get himself
right. He loses his fucking shit. What are you talking about?
Yeah, if you looked at...
Before, he just looked at this guy, and he's like, "What's your problem, buddy?" And the guy like leans up against his car. And he's like, "Ruben Patterson, you owe my boss some money. I'm here to collect." Like hell, you are. He throws his burrito down. Oh, pummels the shit out of Joe Dirt.
Well, the guy does pull a switchblade out.
Yeah, he does, and that escalated it.
And then he just beats the fuck out of this
He
guy.
says, "I'm standing my ground," though, and he was. He pulled a knife on him.
It's like they ketchup on this guy's face because he goes from like nothing to just covered in blood in a matter of seconds. And
Murray would be happy about that because it wasn't just a trickle to the lip.
That was a real ass whip.
Yeah.
Throw a fucking knife on me! Just beats his face in. So good. Nick comes out, dick in hand, sees this, runs, gets his friend off of him. I don't know. Right. Pulled a knife and it all changed. You don't have to kill a man to win. And that's when we start to see Nick turning into more of the baby face.
Yeah. No, this is where we start to see the switch, and it's beautiful. Right. I want to point out,
I had a heel turn and a babyface turn in the same scene.
Yeah, and they did it so well. Jim Cornette would be proud of this booking here. But I want to point out, if you guys didn't pause on Ruben's burrito, he's all keto. He's no more carb bullshit. He's just protein. That was a fried chicken, what do they call them? Chicken fried steak with raw chicken stuffed in it. There was nothing else in there.
Nice.
That's probably why Nick didn't want it, because Nick's like, I'm a Quiznos guy. I don't
he's a Quiznos guy. Yeah.
Nick's probably a vegetarian.
Yeah, this is where we get a very powerful line. You brought it up already, Paul, but we get hit with the very hard look, man.
Whoa, yeah. When someone says, "Look, man," you listen.
Yeah.
Look, man, you don't have to kill a man to win. That's the theme for the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the running heart right here, you know, like the throw line. The through line.
Put a man into a coma. You don't have to like kill him.
Yeah.
Well, I think he was trying to work on LA's homeless situation. He was like, you know, what's one expendable hobo? No one's gonna miss this guy. I should try and kill him. I'm going to Mexico where I can get away with that shit anyways. We're in a public park.
That's a good point.
He's probably flashing himself to kids. I'm doing the community a service.
Jesus.
You know what I mean?
Anybody listening, you ever want to feel like to kill a man? Kill a drifter. No one will care.
Yeah.
Do a drifter.
If he's wearing a wig, easy kill.
He looks like Joe Dirty, pulls a switchblade. Kill him.
It's kind of your duty. You got to kill him.
Fuck, just toss a switchblade at him. He'll catch it, and then you can kill him.
He's got a switchblade.
Stand in my ground. Stand in my ground. All right, so all this switchblade talk, we got to go to Tijuana.
Hitting TJ. We get the nice filler footage of just fucking highlight arena.
Oh, yeah.
The fucking, what do you call those things you hit with the stick? Pinatas.
It's beautiful. These are great stock footage.
Got your knockoff Simpson t-shirts. You got everything you can expect from Tijuana.
And the boys arrive.
Stock footage, isn't there, of the border and stuff like that, just to let you, just to make sure if you didn't know that they were going to Mexico, like reminder.
I mean,
yeah.
All you need is a yellow filter. We learned that from the mechanic.
We saw the camera go from perfect HD to yellow filter, so we knew. But the audiences were still dumb in '93 to the whole Mexico filter thing.
So is it the highlight arena? They also have the secret fighting thing, because I think they stop at the highlight arena.
I thought they did too, but they go in the back door where the boxes are.
Right.
Yeah.
Where the boys
all the highlight equipment.
Yeah,
they use.
Sure.
little curved thing they use to throw the ball.
So the
Those are
guys
all the
immediately
weapons that have been delivered by Amazon. All the weapons that
They're-
they use for
Yep.
the.
Oh yeah, Shokazugi special. Yeah.
yeah, there we go.
They're like, get rid of those boxes. Just put them in the back by the shipping docks. The boys will be coming into the back too, so meet them back there. Bodyguard number 1, go back.
I liked how they never. This is the first time they were fighting, but they're given their own locker room. That's very
Their own locker room. Yeah, there's
Well,
80
you're trying to gush them up here. You know what I mean? You don't want to lure someone down and then treat them to a bad time right off the bat. Like you're trying to kiss a little bit ass here. I think that's one of those Mr. C's special touches. Where it's like, hey, let's gush them up a little. Let's let them come in through the back. They don't have to go through the audience. We'll give them a nice locker room to their own, and they'll be back. They'll be back.
It's kind of impressive because the audience that shows up for these preliminary matches too, they're still highfalutin. There's still a lot of suits and ties. There's a mix. There's a mix in there. There's some more people with barely polos on, even but there's still big money being thrown around for these.
I have a theory that my theory is that this tournament takes place is a weekly thing, and that the finals are like every Friday night or Saturday night. Like if I had to try to make sense of this timeline.
Life is cheap in Mexico, dude. So,
it's like they're like indie shows. You know what I mean? Where like they mostly just take place on weekends. And the finals are just last. Who's not dead yet is in the finals.
The values here, too. You get to see the cockfight, then the donkey show, and then fucking blood fights.
Yeah. Drink the water. Montezuma's Revenge. Bring your own burrito.
Bring your own burrito. There is a burrito truck out front, so don't worry about that. But we haven't had rules in a while here, so we're going to get some rules. Mr. C comes into the locker room right after they've been ushered in. They have a nice little joke here about our man, bodyguard number 1, Animal.
Godzilla.
Yeah, they do. Godzilla. And that's the last we see of him. I think he's gone after that.
He might lurk in the background, but I think you're right. Yeah,
but he just kind of disappeared.
He hurt his feelings. He heard that.
He heard that and just like,
I ain't Godzilla.
I quit. I'm sick of these pretty boys telling me I'm Godzilla.
Right. So yeah, we get Mr. C lays out the rules in a very nice Fraser Crane voice.
Yes, it was.
In the ring, there are no rules.
What's funny about Godzilla before we let him go is not only does he get killed and pitchforks by a bunch of crazies in Gymkhana, but God damn it. I want to say that he, I'm pretty sure he was in Tom Hanks' The Burbs.
Our buddy Mike would know that. He watched it every day for a month, so
we'll send him a picture.
Mike up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was a part of that family. Maybe I'm thinking Head of the Family and not The Burbs, but any which way, it'll come back to me.
Okay.
I'm a big Tom Shot fan. And
in the ring, there are no rules. Outside of the ring, shitload of rules. First of all, rule number 1.
He was
fighting
not,
for
he
one
was
of the
not
4.
The Burbs. It's Head of the Family. Okay, sorry. I had to double check because I was like,
that's one of Mr. C's rules.
Somebody's screaming. I'm guessing it's probably Aubrey's husband screaming, "Head of the Family!"
Yeah.
Well, so you're fighting for one of the 4 owners, Mr. Tang. Rule number 2: you must win 4 matches to qualify for the finals in January.
Losses.
No losses. If you make it to the finals, you have to compete. You can quit at any time until you make it to the finals. Then you have to compete. Because that's where the real blood sport comes out. Because you don't have to kill anybody to make it to the finals, right?
Right, yeah.
You gotta keep your talent fresh. You can't just keep killing everyone.
They didn't mention this, and because I left it as one long quote, but they do break it off, and they're like, yeah, that sounds great. Ruben's kind of getting amped up. He's excited. For the first time, he's feeling alive. Like everything's just been put in front of them.
I can say from personal experience, you never feel more alive than when you're taking someone else's life.
Exactly.
Oh.
and so he's just like, all right, well, is there any rules for the ring? It's like, wait a minute. We just went over the rules in
They're
the
not
ring.
that bright, okay?
Yeah, no. Ruben literally asked after he's been told there's no rules in the ring.
But it's good he did because Mr.
then-
C remembered that one rule.
Mr. C's like, oh yeah, there is one rule.
Your opponent must be knocked unconscious.
So that's fucking stupid. The fact that he's like, there's no rules. Also, now that you mention it, there is one rule. Right. That was silly.
Sometimes he just forgot.
All right. So
does Mr. C have a soothing voice similar to Morgan Freeman? You know what I mean? Like he has a real eloquent way to him. His voice, it's like he's very. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I'm sorry.
That's why Mr. Lee hired him, so he can like lull these people in a false sense of security.
Oh yeah,
I totally believe.
He's an ace at it too.
Right. He's doing some of that ASMR.
Oh, he definitely is.
So Nick's up first. They get their sweatpants with the reflector tape on it. And he's fighting like a fucking 50-year-old man.
Right.
Gerald Nakamura is the ref. I'm loving that.
Loving that.
We see Tang and the other three owners on their thrones.
They all have like a stoop that they sit on with thrones up there and everything. We never get like a whole explanation about the four owners. You'd think with four owners, they'd be like, yeah, there's Tang, there's Mr. Lee, there's this guy, and there's that guy. They never do that.
There was a bald guy with ponytail. I remember him.
You saw him? Q?
Yeah.
He had a Q?
Yeah, I think that was Paul Heyman.
That was Paul.
So, yeah.
He did have a giant cell phone. And he did always wear a hat, ECW hat. So, and I did see Taz there with the Okay, I'm done.
He did have the fuck the world title belt on.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah. So Nick, he's getting fucked up. He's fighting an elderly man. We were talking about this earlier. We'll get into it. Nick,
they're not fighting for points anymore.
No.
They're fighting for their lives, like brain damage at this point. And so Nick is getting fucking hammered. He goes down immediately, and the ref, Nakamura, he comes over, flips open his eyeballs, and his one eye is still hanging there. You can see his pupil because the rule apparently in this round is if he opens your eyelids after you go down and he just sees whites, you're done.
Yeah, you're out.
There's no other way you could be
Only guy who could get away with it, Undertaker.
Undertaker. Yep.
So,
do the hinge.
So Nick obviously isn't knocked out because we can see the pupils. So.
Right. And his guy was like kind of flaunting around like he won and everything. And the refs, Nakamura's like, no, he good. Let's go. Let's keep it going. And so Nick pops up. He kip ups. And then he just rules the fucking show.
Right. Fucks this dude up.
And gets the win. Heads back to the locker room. And he's telling
Ruben's watching through this little vent they have.
Ruben, for some reason, they could watch it, but they choose not to watch it. Because it only plays a real part later when Nick watches Ruben's match and he's like, oh, fuck, I need to get out there. But they barely watch each other's matches, even though they could. So, yeah, Nick returns and he's just like, holy fuck, how was it? And he's like, it was nuts. Like, I don't know. They seem to be okay with it at this point, right?
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
So Ruben's up next. He easily jobs out the guy he's fighting. No problem. And that's probably they probably gave him a ringer because they can tell that he's got some bloodlust in him.
Yeah.
So he's just because they want to keep him down, string him along, keep him fighting.
Clearly, that's the setup for this whole thing.
Because like we said, most of their opponents are like 50-year-old men. They're like,
That's how they got Eddie roped in. That's what I have to imagine.
Well, Eddie was like one of the youngest of the participants, I would imagine, which is why he just didn't want to continue. But we saw. Yeah, I think most of these guys are fighting out of desperation, as we see why Ruben's there in the first place, and why we see later on another character who also appeared in Jim Kata.
Jesus.
Richard Norton, is he in it?
No, but God, what's his name?
How do you not have the IMDb of Jim Kata open right now?
Well, no, I don't need to. But John Barrett, who plays Gomez, who also dies in the crazy town. He later on, we still will see him a little bit later on. How he talks about he has a family to feed, and that's why he's there. So I think Lee, the bastard that he is, they pry on the desperate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like any real tournament. Almost. Yeah. So like I think, going back to like now our dream of starting an underground fight ring, I think it's the same thing. We got to pry on the desperate, which didn't work too well for bum fights, I think, because those guys got shut down fairly quickly. But it's just something to consider, guys. It
worked really, really well in Hard Target, though. Until
you got to build the card. You got to have the jobber matches in the beginning. You can't throw them in the main event,
right?
No, of course
you got to build. And the finals is where it's at.
Of course, we're going to do it like AW, where everybody gets 50-50 booking, where they just beat each other up, even though it's a jobber.
Yeah. And rankings don't matter, right? We'll have rankings, but they won't matter. So.
Rankings don't matter until they matter.
Until they randomly matter, even though everybody books their own matches on the show in front of everybody.
And then you see guys get defeated and they're like 10-0, and you're like, what?
Wait, why are they still? Yeah. Anyways, we're back in the locker room. Tang's coming in. Apparently, the boys have been fighting under Tang's group, as Mr. C explained.
And he loves it. He's like, bravo, great job. He's like buttering them up, like Paul was saying. They're toying with these kids. They don't give a shit about these kids. They want Shingo.
Right? And he's just like, oh my God, I can't wait to give you guys $10K for your next fight. Win or lose, next fight, $10K a piece. Oh, it's going to be so good. And Ruben suddenly is a haggler because he's just like 15. That's 15K. I saw me out there. I looked amazing. I was beside myself in that fight. My coiffed Ric Flair hair was flowing in the wind. I was beautiful.
And Tang goes, you drive a hard bargain. Did you read Art of the Deal by Donald Trump? Because you're pretty good, kid.
You try to Ultimate Warrior me and Rise the State. Yeah.
Is that what he's doing? He's holding them up for more money.
There we go.
He's Bruiser Broderying them.
I think Jeff Jarrett also did the same thing, right? He asked for like $1 million to give up the Intercontinental title after his contract.
Jeff. I hate Jeff Jarrett as a wrestler. Griff loves him.
I love him.
But I give it up to him. If he's going to lose to China, yes, hold them up for as much money as you can fucking get.
Yeah, seriously. I like that.
So, they're like, hey, but it'd be really great. Maybe your master would like to come and see you guys fight. You're amazing.
Yeah, 15K is no problem. But, bring your master along, And Ruben's just like, no, I'm my own man.
Well, they also know that he gave up shoot fighting. He's like, no. He believes in the honor of shoot fighting.
Yeah, we don't think he'd be down for this. I don't think it'd be acceptable.
Yeah. But it's time to celebrate. So they go back to the nice Tijuana hotel.
Right. One of my favorite shots in any movie where you lay down on the bed and throw the dollars up in the air.
Yeah.
Making it rain on himself.
Because Ruben is loving life. Did you do this? Did you get your first big paycheck and you cashed it and threw it on yourself?
Yeah, it was like I threw 10 hot dogs up in the air and just they all landed on me.
Okay, that is my
first
dream.
WWE. Did you guys how did you guys get paid? Was it like a paycheck in the WWE?
Yeah, it was yeah, you get like a weekly check depending on your deal.
Weekly.
Yeah, it was a weekly pay. But keep in mind, you're an independent contractor, so they're not, you have to handle all your own taxes at the end. They're not taking any of that shit out.
Oh. That sucks.
Yeah, that's why they do that, is so that they don't have to pay, they don't have to give you health insurance or any of that shit. So
they can flash you with a big number, and then it's like you're responsible for so much of it. So
yeah, but I think it's a big I think that a big part of it is that they don't have to pay any medical insurance.
That too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't know how they get away with it, but hey, that's America for you.
Capitals.
Texas shit.
So, hey, Jesse Ventura wanted to unionize, and Hulk Hogan fucking stooged him out.
And his daughter had no idea about it, apparently.
Vince is kind of like the Lee of Connecticut.
He is.
Oh, the Mr. Lee of Connecticut. Yeah.
That's what I meant. Yeah, the Mr. Lee. Yeah.
Is Bruce Pritchard Mr. C?
He's more like bodyguard, Godzilla,
Okay.
fucking Mongoloid.
He's a mongoloid. Oh, fuck.
So, yeah, they're making it rain, and, like, Nick's like, I don't know,
Ruben.
something's off about this.
Ruben's making it rain.
Yeah.
Nick is playing with the curtains and the drapes and the little fucking thing. He's looking out the window, and she's like, I'm just not sure. And you could tell that he's shaking his head left to right a lot because he's got that ponytail flapping back and forth. I just don't know about this. I just don't know. And Ruben's like, come on. I can pay off the loan sharks. You know what I don't want? I need this. And you know why? I don't want those loan sharks. You remember those cowboys we beat up at that pool hall? I don't want them coming for your sister, Cheryl.
Right.
I'm trying
Because
to...
they kind of implied rape at that bar. So, yeah.
Yeah, they did. They're like, your sister's got a sweet can. I would like to put my penis on it.
And then Nick is like, you know what? You're right. I don't want to see my sister get raped. So,
Yeah.
So,
took some convincing.
Ruben, they decide they're going to keep rolling. It's like being in Vegas. Like, we're on a hot streak, so we're going to stay in TJ and earn some more money fighting. So he calls up Cheryl. It's like, babe, Nick got a bad burrito. He's stuck in the bathroom. We're not going to be home for a couple days. Is that all right?
It's the weirdest thing. We ended up in Tijuana. He wanted to come buy some fireworks because they're legal down here, and there's so many good fireworks. But, yeah, we did get the burritos. No, I got the keto one. He got the one with, like, rice and beans in it, and he's just done.
I picked up a Rick and Morty pinata for you. It's great.
It's actually Bick and
It's
Jordy.
Dick and Jordy.
It's Jordy LaForge. That was hot in '93. That makes sense.
So Cheryl's not pleased about that.
Is the French baby singing? Is that Jordy? Is that what you're talking about?
Wait, I thought Jordy was Jordy LaForge with the glasses.
Griffith's talking about Star Trek.
Yeah, I'm talking Star
Generation
Trek.
now.
I was thinking of the baby French singer, Jordy. Never mind. Okay.
I have no idea what that is.
So she's a little pissed, but she's like, fine, I'll just go out we're gonna go out to dinner, but I'll go out to dinner with Jill.
She can barely even talk. You know how slow she talks? She's like Droopy Dog from that old cartoon.
So, of course, the only restaurant they eat at is Shingo's because they can get their customer discount, their client.
They can barely afford their house,
Right.
let alone their dojo. So, of course, they go to the place they get half off.
Cheryl's like, Shingo, you ever heard about shoot fighting? And he does a great eye actor. You can just tell, huh?
Yeah, you get the like pan flute as his face just with weight just like leans back.
You
and
just
you're
see
like,
the
oh,
disappointment in his students.
This is powerful.
In his eyes.
We haven't even seen Shingo in a while, and now he's coming at us with these fucking power thrusts of emotion.
He doesn't even answer Cheryl, basically, because he doesn't know English, but he just stumbles into the back room where Mama-san is cooking the rice up. And this is where he gets to act, because he gets to actually speak Chinese. So he's like, I'm worried about my students. They're getting involved with shoot fighting. And his mom's like, hey, you got to let boys be boys. I'm sure it'll be totally okay. And he just stares off into space like, I don't know about this. Next day, next week, who the fuck knows what's going on with the time here? All I know is Shingo shows up to the dojo and he's got his Tim Horton Timbits for everybody. And he's just cramming them into children's mouths. And this is beautiful. I love it. He's being so adorable in this scene.
This scene is amazing because the kids are unruly. Cheryl's trying to calm them down, and he just goes. And all the kids stop, and then one little fucking shrimp comes out to fucking roundhouse him. He misses completely. He sweet stands him. And so he's like, let me get on my knees. Give me another kick. He does say, kick. And so the kid kicks him again, and he's like, oh. And then he mimes, opening his mouth. And I was like, this is some fucking ring rat dumpster shit that's happening. No, he stuffed a fortune cookie, or excuse me, a Timbit in his mouth.
It was a Timbit. And the kids just mob him because he's just so fucking lovable. It's a beautiful scene, Griff. We've never seen Bolo like this ever.
Yeah, because aren't they all they circle around him and they're all reaching? He's like, no, and this like shows a little bit of he shows some good comedy here.
Right, he's great. It's amazing. And so now I guess that once again, does he teach the kids anything? It's like always shutting things down in the middle of the day. It's like, all right, lesson learned. Go home. I've got to go back to my restaurant. Heads to his restaurant, and this is where the rednecks show up again, wanting that money. But you don't mess with fucking Shingo. He's a shoot fighter, and he takes them out, no trouble at all. Beats their ass. And drops the great fucking line, "Clean up." And that's what he says. He says, "Clean up." Guys, we're back in Tijuana. Nick is ready for a second match. I love this. It's like, is Nick showing what a feisty street fighter he is? Because he's totally, I guess there's no rules, so he's not cheating, but he's like biting and pulling hair. And eye gouging. The guy's actually putting him in legit fucking chokeholds.
Nick was?
No, his opponent was. This fucking hobo is putting Nick in chokeholds.
This wasn't. I mean, he may have been a hobo, but he was a feisty hobo.
And then, he's fighting for his life. He's fighting for a can of beans.
This guy looked good. He does roundhouse Nick in the face, and it looked bad. Nick wasn't ready for it.
But he puts Nick in a chokehold, and Nick bites his fucking arm, which I guess it's part of the rules are no rules.
That's
so
right.
It's
no rules, just right. It's Outback rules.
But it's not honorable. Shingo would look down on that.
Oh no, he 100% would, but he would definitely get the bloomin' onion.
But it's enough for him to win. He pulls out an international object.
Yes.
Throws some salt in his eyes, blinds the guy.
That's right.
Puts him in a finisher. The guy kicks out, and then he small packages him. Wins.
That's all it takes. A small package.
Salt in the eyes. That's actually Chong Li style from Bloodsport.
Yeah. There we go.
Paul, that's every sneaky Asian style. We know that. You know that. You went into the business. You know Mr. Fuji. You know all about that. They're all sneaky. Anyway.
I recommend any young babyface on the uppity up when they're at home throw salt in their own eyes repeatedly, so until they become immune to it.
That's
that
good
way.
thinking.
Yeah,
Open your eyes up. Yeah.
Yeah, just pour salt in your eyes so it doesn't bother you anymore. In case you ever have to come across a sneaky Asian.
I hope
that happens a lot in wrestling.
I hope we never get another Sheik in wrestling again.
No, there's one in every.
Oh, you want? I just don't. What do they throw in people's eyes?
Fire.
They throw fire.
Sheik throws fireballs.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Is Jericho an undercover Sheik? Because he threw a fireball into
the Sheik is from Detroit. I'm standing up for the Sheik.
I think he throws. Jericho throws COVID in your eyes.
Jericho COVID?
Exactly.
Jericho.
Back in the locker room. They got their own private locker room. These guys are stars.
Yeah, we talked about it. They're trying to build these kids up like they are stars. So they got their own locker room.
Nick is like, I barely escaped with my life, Ruben. We need to get the fuck out of here. Ruben is full on bloodlust mode. He's
right.
Like, I love it. I finally feel alive the first time in my life.
He is 100% keto at this point. He is all man. He's 100% running on testosterone. He's like, I need to break a neck. He's going to full macho man like promos here. Oh, Gene, I gotta tell you, I need to see this man's spine sever out of his back. Like,
I don't remember that.
Not making sense at all. And Nick's seeing it, and he's just like, who? I thought you were going to be my brother-in-law.
Before they can go on, it's like you're
burritos together.
Yeah, we used to eat burritos.
Burrito brothers, dude.
They were
the bond you'll never forget.
They were burrito brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We shared a prostitute last night.
You mean
got away with it?
We skewered her.
Hey,
we spit roasted her.
He's
and we
still in your
high five right over it. You're dating my sister, all right?
I could tell that the whole time we were doing it, you were still affectionate towards my sister.
He was looking at a picture. He had that picture of her that he would put in every mirror he was looking
He
into.
did actually do that.
Yes.
He put her picture in every
Yeah.
mirror.
So he's staring. That's not cheating, guys. First of all, anyone listening, if you're looking at a picture of your girlfriend while you're fucking another woman, that's not cheating. Because you're thinking about your girlfriend.
Murray, does that go both ways? If they
No,
fuck
no,
somebody...
no, of course not. Totally different when a woman does it. She's a whore.
Total ring rat.
She's a shoot slut. She's a shoot slut.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, my God.
Octorat.
Mr. C explained these rules explicitly for us. If you look at a picture of your girlfriend while you're fucking a shoot slut, it doesn't count.
Right, it doesn't.
You can go home.
Especially when it's in Tijuana.
Especially in
You're out of the country?
International borders.
Exactly.
Hello. She is an international object that you put your dick into. It's not a woman. Not even a human.
Right. Exactly.
What is happening? We're off the rails. We got a page and a half to go.
They need a Shootfighter 3. Fuck to the death.
Or fuck death. as
Andy
Griff would
Sedaris
go.
presents Shoot Fighter 3.
Yeah. So, Ruben's up, and he's getting the shit kicked out. His eyes are bigger than his stomach, or some kind of fucking.
That's
metaphor.
a beautiful metaphor for
Yeah.
it because he's all about the bloodlust, only it's all his blood. He's getting fucking wrecked. And you see, we were talking about it earlier. They never really watched each other's fights, but after this fight, Nick was like, I gotta watch this. Because
Right.
Ruben's about to get it. He knows he's a sweet, innocent baby boy. Everything's been put in front of him. Silver spoon in his mouth. He's a senator's son. And so he's looking he opens up the vent. He's watching him fight. He's like, fuck, I gotta stop this. So Nick devises a plan because they're guarded. They're not supposed to get out of their locker
You think
room.
that would be like maybe like something's up, not on the up and up. They lock you in the locker room,
Right. So he knocks on the door, hides behind. Guy walks in, he fucking punches him in the gut and then flips him over and makes a beeline for the ring. And so
He does a run in.
he does a run in, and he does wait for his music, and
Do
he
they fight off?
dances.
Do they fight off, Griff?
Of course he fights off. If you pay close attention, he fights off. He pulls a Jeff Hardy, waits for his music, and then he dances out. The audience goes fucking nuts.
Well, of course you got to have your music. No, what happened was the lights went out. The lights came on. Nick was in the ring.
Paul, what's worse, when the lights go out or when they gotta wait for their music and they dance on their way out?
Oh, waiting for the music and the dancing. Come on.
Okay.
That's fucking
Okay.
terrible. No sense
So the
of
lights are...
probation whatsoever.
Oh, it is rough.
Especially when it's your brother getting the shit kicked out of him. You stop and
Yeah.
dance.
And the first thing you do is dance.
Even he's pissed though, right here, Ruben, because he's like, "Oh no, come on!" You can tell he's pissed. He didn't need to say
Yeah.
that.
Right. Like, I had him. I had him right where I wanted him.
He literally... Ruben, so they get... Together, they get pushed, thrown back into their private locker room, and Ruben gets Nick, throws him against the locker. Are you playing God with my life? He is riding that testosterone hard for a line like that. Like you said it. That pocket knife mugging, he flipped and the one-liners started to come out of him. You're playing God with my life. Like,
Oh, good.
all he did was try to save him from getting his ass beat because he was getting his ass beat.
I had him. Mr. C notices this. He's I got to settle things down. Maybe you need to talk with my boss, Mr. Lee. So they bring him into Mr. Lee's office. Tastefully lit, always beautifully lit. There's always sun going.
Oh,
into
yeah,
that
no, I've
window.
talked about that. That beautiful filtered sun. He's got his little Tonto sword that he's just, like, toying with. And was that a Tonto?
I think what Mr. Lee's short sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, that's a good call actually, because he's putting it like in the scarab or something, isn't he? Or he's like, or in the little holder. I think that is a Tonto.
Yeah, the little sheath for it, and he's just
holding it up in the sunlight, so it's just glaring.
He's peering his eyes over it, Mr. Wilson style, just like making eye contact, and it's beautiful work he's doing here. Again, the sun just glistening off it into his face and that perfect Swayze hair.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's like fresh cropped wheat. Love it.
And he lets them know, you know what? Fuck the tournament. I'm going to let you guys fight in the finals. You've earned it. Because they have to win 4 fights to get to it.
Just got to skip it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I realized that you guys were trained by Shingo, the greatest of all time.
The greatest shoot fighter of all time.
You need to be in there because, But here's the thing. You know about the finals. And he sheathes that little blade. Weapons in the finals. And Nick, of course, like, oh, weapons? And Ruben's like, I've trained with weapons before. Bring it, brother. I know my cutlery.
So they go back to the car. Nick is trying to talk Ruben out of it. And Nick Nick is like, hey, you sweet fucking idiot. Like, Lee is playing you. And he's like, no, Mr. Lee believes in me. He's so apparently the first guy to believe in me.
So apparently Ruben has no father figure, even though Shingo has been his father figure and has been very cool to him. He's just like, no, Lee believes in me. He believes that I'm a murdering, super fucking Joe Rogan humanoid.
Right.
So I'm going to be more human than a human, and I'm going to break some fucking necks for Mr. Lee.
So, back at the dojo, Ruben flips out when he's going to get that warm welcome he's expecting from Cheryl.
Yeah.
He's been gone for like a month.
According to this timeline, probably a month. Because, again, we've got to go. They start fighting in May, and they say the finals are in January.
Yeah.
That is 8 months away.
Yeah. And Cheryl's like, I had to suck the landlord's dick to keep us in his house. Where the fuck have you been? He's like, you ungrateful bitch, and just throws his money at her in an envelope, and just storms out.
That's right.
Yeah. Everything I do for the dojo. You bossed me around too much. I know why Nick left now. It's because you bossed him around. So get fucked. Where are you going? I gotta think.
Yeah.
Perfect acting. I gotta go get me one of those KFC meat-on-meat sandwiches.
Now, Nick, he's having a little tete-a-tete with his lady Jill. Because she understands, and he understands her. And he's just like, I don't know, I'm worried about Ruben. I think I got to be there, but I don't know if I have what it takes to compete in this finals. You think Master Shingo would teach me?
No, he wants completely out.
Out?
Yeah, he wants completely out. And so he's telling her, like, life is really weird. He's got he was pulling a Wings little Shakespeare thespian act here because he's got the glass, it's half full, and he's like, when I was down in Tijuana, it really made me think about life and where I'm at in it, and glass half full. She's like, that's really deep. I see what you're doing here. And he's like, yeah, I just don't know. I don't think I can do it anymore. You shouldn't do it anymore. What you should do is train for the national. Well, I can't do that. I just don't have a master. Shingo would teach you.
And the first thing Shingo says is, no.
Yep.
I will not treat you. And then he's like, look, I know. He's like, because he knows all about this shoot fight and shit. He learned it from Cheryl.
Right.
And he feels betrayed. And Nick's like, look, I fucked up in Mexico. I didn't even want to go there.
Right.
I don't want to do that. I want to learn shoot fighting. I want to learn the art of killing a man honorably. And then Shingo goes, you are learning.
Yeah.
That's the first lesson to learn.
I feel like this is where we get the complete turn here, because then Ruben shows up in the Mustang, which, why didn't you sell that if you needed extra cash? Sell the fucking
That's a
Mustang.
fucking cool-ass car, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he shows up, he's all like, Shingo, you're going to teach me how to fucking shoot fight, you're going to teach me weapons, and then you're going to come to Tijuana with me, because you're going to see your fucking boy win the tournament. And he hits him with that no again. Another no, rather.
These are verbal no's, right? These are verbal no's?
Yeah, these are actual verbal no's. Yeah.
Yes, even Bolo can say the word no.
Okay, it's pretty universal. I would hope he would, but
yeah,
we're not.
There's a little bit of an accent, but he says no. You understand. And this is where we get not one montage, you get stereo montages.
And this is beautiful because you notice that when you do the Ruben montage, you get these heavy fucking guitar riffs. And then it quickly cuts over to Nick and his training.
Flute and shit.
And he's just doing like these weird hand exercises. Yeah.
Now, we know the answer to this, Paul, but we want to get your opinion. What is the best way to train? In a gym or in nature?
Well, they both train in nature during this montage, don't they? I mean, there's like, well, they both
There's no
train.
nature.
They do both.
It's not filthy streets.
No, but they do both in this. I think, like, because there's some dojo training with, if I'm trying to remember correctly, with Shingo and Nick, but they're mostly outside, like on a hillside or on a hilltop or something, doing some hand movement things. And
there's definitely a hilltop.
We get a shot of Shingo surrounded by geese doing Tai Chi.
Dude, that was the shot that Nick showed up to him on.
Yeah.
And you're at peace with the world when geese don't fuck with you.
Right.
Because geese are dicks. Yeah.
But
that was impressive.
But I think training in nature the way Ruben does exceeds all of it, because, and if I'm jumping ahead, then, sorry, but my favorite, well, it's tied. I love both. This is a great montage because it shows the dichotomy of how Ruben and Nick both approach the fight. But Nick, now just being a dork and training with Shingo and being a kiss ass and training the Shingo style, thinks he's learning it all. Thinks he's really getting it. But then, once he gets taken to the basketball court, things change. He realizes he's got a lot to learn, and we'll cover that in a second. But then when you're talking about Ruben,
we will cover that in a second.
Ruben is reckless. He doesn't give a flying fuck. He's survived Mexico for a few months now. He's taken it to the streets of LA, the bad streets of LA, and easily one of my favorites is when he's just kind of walking and like kicking trash, and he willingly goes into like gang territory where those guys are just sitting on like abandoned like car seats and stuff, like they don't give a shit. And one of my favorite lines is when he's walking and the guy just grabs his jacket. He's like, "Give me your jacket," which prompts a fight with Ruben and these gang members. And he throws the jacket into one of the guy's faces, who so completely oversells it and is struggling to get the jacket off of his face while Ruben beats the other dudes up. He nails one of the guys in the stomach, who like drops perfectly down in like a waiting for it stance, very AEW, waiting to get like kneed in the face.
Yeah, waiting for his next spot.
Oh, dude, it's so good. It's one of the funniest fights, in my opinion, in the whole film. But then flipping back over to Nick, following Shingo on his light little Hong Kong jog through the parks of Nevada, California, that we get to see him go to like an abandoned park basketball.
This is the scene I alluded to. I will forever be grateful to Mr. Paul London for introducing the movie to me. Just this scene blew my fucking mind.
It's so good. It's so good. You don't even have to be a basketball fan. You just have to be a fan of nature, martial arts, and
playing horse.
Yeah, kids with mental deformities. Like
the jury's still out on that. I hope through the kid's normal child. He's got some developmental issues.
This is the scene for the Mechanic Bronson era fans, because there are no words spoken in this scene.
No,
there's just
no words need to be spoken.
Fun though, the music's fun. It's lighthearted. It's telling the audience enjoy this moment. Because it's become a bloodbath. So this is your last
Bolo's wearing a sweatsuit with a towel wrapped around his neck, like tucked into the collar of his.
It's so good.
So him and Nick are jogging. They stumble upon, as Paul would say, a mentally challenged child. I think he's a normal child who's playing basketball, wearing the most fucked up bootleg Detroit Pistons jersey, which I got to pop out of that, being from Detroit. I was like, what the fuck? And then, and also I got kind of like teary eyed, Griff, because it's like I at that moment I was like, I wish Shingo Bolo was my dad, and I was the kid in this scene.
Yep.
Because my dad's a piece of shit. And so I was just like, God, if only I could have lived this scene with Bolo. Because Bolo comes up to the kid, whispers in his ear.
Yeah.
Kid hands him a ball. No looks. Bolo just stands with his back to the fucking hoop, throws the ball over his shoulder.
3 times.
Swish.
3 times.
Swish.
Yeah.
Swish.
He's the child whisperer. And like the kid nods with like his whole upper body. Like, and his head, like he can't just nod with his head. He like nods with his whole like upper body. It's very, very charming.
Yes.
And by the way, this was such a knockoff jersey. There's no piston number 55.
Number 55.
All right, I don't know what the fuck that was.
And,
This was like
Murray,
discounts. Yeah, it was a rough, a very rough Pistons jersey.
It should have been 11. It should have been 11, Isaiah.
Yeah, it should have been.
Right.
But as you would say, he was acting with a capital A. He was John Malkoviching his one scene here. But we do get the levity of Nick trying to do it, and he can't.
Right.
So it's trying to tell us, like, yeah.
Whatever this has to do with shoot fighting at all, I don't know. I'm loving the scene.
But I love it. I love it. We would never see this in a modern movie without it being super stupid.
Right.
Like, they did this so perfectly. Bolo, the mullet, that fucking sweatsuit with the towel, everything about this. And as fast as it comes into our life, they just run away.
Well, no, then they hand the ball to the kid, and the kid swishes it like 3 times.
Well, yeah, the kid had already swished it a few times.
So Nick looks like a real idiot.
Yeah, and the kid continues to swish it, and then we get one undershot of the rim. The kid swishes it again, and he goes, "Yeah, like magic."
No, I have to correct you on this because it's too good.
Okay.
Shingo and Nick. Shingo hands the ball back to the kid after he realizes Nick still has a long ways to go because he couldn't make over the head blind swishes, like this poor Make-A-Wish kid. And so they jog off to continue their training, and this kid just throws the most fucked up over the head shot. And that cuts to the ball going in, and you hear this, "I'm Magic Johnson."
Yeah. It was so good.
And like, make up your mind, kid. Are you a Pistons fan or a Laker fan? You can't be both.
You can't be both.
Right?
No. But you alluded, I mean, like you said, Magic played it. He's from Michigan, so I think there's some. I think the Diamant family, which, obviously with the help of IMDb, well, I made this connection watching the rolling credits when I first was viewing this movie at such a young age because I loved this character so much that I then made the connection that this is clearly the little brother or a relative of the Jill character, who I think her name is like Sigal Diamant, and this kid is like Serge Diamant. So yeah, they're clearly related, and they look very similar. So
yeah,
you know what I mean. There's some kind of emptiness going on behind the eyes.
They definitely both have empty eyes. That's true.
Yeah.
Can't read those eyes.
No,
nothing going on behind them.
Truly a highlight of the film, in my opinion. This little basketball scene, very magical, and you get like a magical, like twinkly sound when he makes the basket.
You do.
I'm Magic Johnson.
For real.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, it's like a
lot
magic
of these
twinkle sound.
A lot of the late '80s, early '90s action movies had that one scene that stand the test of time. Jean-Claude dancing. This kid shooting the baskets with Bolo. That is clearly up there.
Only way to make this better is if that basketball shot paid off somehow. Like he did, like a basketball shot to beat the guy.
There needed to be a callback to that somehow, but there wasn't.
All you needed to do was learn how to make a backwards free throw.
So it's unfortunate, but whatever. Because, guys, January's rolled back around somehow. I don't know how it happened, but it happened.
It happened.
We're at the
and
final.
So, Ruben's walking. Yeah, Ruben has come back out of Tijuana, and he is straight up. Yeah, or no, he's still in Tijuana because he's straight up confronting Lee, and he's like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm in on the tournament. I'm ready." And Lee's just like, "Oh, very good. Where's Shingo? Can we get him on the line? Like, did he give you an RSVP? Like, what's going on with him?" And so Lee's mind is completely focused on Shingo, but hey, he's willing to let Ruben in there because he needs some beautiful babyface fodder.
Right.
He might not be whatever. But so we're going back over to what did you call it, Kela, Nevada or something?
Kela, Nevada.
Yeah,
California.
yeah. And we're seeing that Nick, he's hit his fruition. He's completely, he spent his 8 years. He's fruiting like a beautiful boy now. He's a man.
Fruiting?
Yeah.
Blooming or fruiting?
Fruiting.
Fruiting
like an apple tree or something. It takes 7 years before
ripening.
And so Jill, she's washing his motorcycle. He's just watching her. She's got the bikini on and everything. She's still looking at him like droopy dog, and she sits down to tell him, you've come so far. You're so happy now. You've made me happy. You've made Cheryl happy. But I can't stop thinking about Ruben. I think he's into the shoot fighting because of you. What can we do for him? What can we do for him?
I don't know. All I know is that Ruben. I like that they kept the guys at a separate area to like their locker room was in a different building than where the fight was.
Yeah.
And they're just in a room full of crates. I think that's where all the weapons are.
Maybe. And
we start meeting the guys that are compete into this tournament.
I have to imagine they accidentally clicked on the regular order option in Amazon, so they were getting it every other day instead of like a monthly shipment.
Bezos does that shit. That motherfucker. Yeah. I bet they triple charged Lee for Amazon Prime.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure they
watches that shit.
They were like, yeah, you got to call in to fix your order, to get it monthly instead of daily.
Right.
And they don't have anybody working that phone line.
Mm-hmm,
so we figured.
That's how Lee got the carpal tunnel. He was just constantly on the computer.
He's an EverQuest nerd.
So he meets a friend. He's like, "Hey, you're Mongoose, right?"
Mongoose.
I remember
John Barrett from Gymkata. This is him.
Yeah,
I remember you from the Nationals.
Yeah, Nationals.
Whatever that means. Yeah,
whatever that means. Exactly.
This is where
he meets.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
We meet a guy, a possible enemy, Hawk. Black guy with some long straight hair.
This is one of my absolute favorite characters in the entire film. His name is Thunderwolf, and I'm not talking about his character name. I'm talking about the actor's name.
No way.
Yes.
Thunderwolf. Yes. Has he been in other movies?
Yes.
Gymkata.
I wish.
It's like there's an actor. He only did 2 movies too. He had a great fucking. His name was Warhawk Tanzania.
Oh,
he only did a couple movies.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Well, it's funny you mentioned
that. Mello also only did a few.
Well, yeah. Well, he was like, he did Point Break and a couple other. Wasn't he Only the Strong? I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
we're all over.
The guy who played Mongoose.
Not up on Thunderwolf.
He was the stunt coordinator for this film, actually. So he was also the stunt coordinator for. John Barrett's a legit martial arts master. But going back to Thunderwolf,
Thunderwolf.
The character's name is Hawk in Shootfighter. Yes. He was in apparently 8 films, including Lionheart. He plays a street gang member, number 4.
I remember him. Yeah.
He also
the hair.
Yeah, I think he's like. Yeah, I think he's one of the early guys in the street fight and the fights that they do there. He was in Blood Match. Yeah, I think he's one of those guys. I don't think he was the guy that he beats up, because that looked more like a.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, wait, yeah, that was. I can't remember. He was in Blood Match, Nemesis, Bounty Tracker, and then a couple other movies you probably obviously never heard of. But yeah, but this is one of my favorite moments in the whole film, because him and the Michael Bernardo ripoff, if you could even say that, who's another like henchman guy there. I can't remember what his name is. It didn't really matter because he didn't do anything. I think he's American Indian, actually, Thunderwolf. I don't think he's like straight African American. I think he's like part Native American.
That's why he's got that beautiful hair, dude.
That's where he gets the hair from.
Yeah. But it says Thunderwolf is his full legal name. He is a descendant of Black Indians. There you go. They're not happy about seeing these two chums talk it up when they're in such a serious environment. Thunderwolf's sitting there doing some bicep curls, and in what is easily one of the best, funniest moments in the whole thing is when you see Ruben and Mongoose talking, and you just hear this, "Hey, I hope you brought your body bag." I mean, he just does one good curl, like staring him down. It's like, if you've ever been in a gym, to have anyone lifting weights and staring at you at the same time, it's beyond funny. It's a little uncomfortable depending on the size of the character and if their name is actually Thunderwolf or not.
And they have that hair.
And they do Karate Kid callbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But this is, such a good character. This is where it really ramps up and you start seeing a lot of the characters.
Really? They just introduced a new heel character in a second with just hair, a look, and one recycled line from Karate Kid.
And the name Hawk. That's all you need.
And it's amazing. Like, you start to notice this character in the background of every Ruben shot. He's walking by, glaring one eye into the camera.
This is why I hated Bloodsport 2, because all the guys look the same.
Yeah, everybody looked the same. No one really got any kind of,
if you're doing a fucking tournament movie, you gotta have diverse, you gotta have racial stereotypes.
And they give that to us in Bloodsport 2, but they never got it to any kind of conclusion, and they never introduced a lot of the people. They were just like, oh yeah, here's Jobber 1 and Jobber 2.
Right.
Guys, we're about to get into it. We're about to get into some sweet fights, because after that that nice locker room talk where they talked about grabbing him by the pussy, we're gonna get to some real fights.
This tournament is so intense. People die at exhibition fights.
Yeah, they did a full AEW pay-per-view where they do the pre-pay-per-view that they charge you $30 for a jobber match. But these jobbers, they're not just looking for a quick
match. No, this is like a return of champions, right? Former champions.
Yeah. These are former champs.
This is definitely these are other favorite characters. One in particular, though, Boa. I mean, if this wasn't one of the absolute funniest characters you've ever seen, then
he's
watching the wrong movie. Boa and Buck. And go ahead.
I miss this about any kind of movie, because Boa slithers in there, and I have to imagine they were like, okay, we'll have this be like a 1-minute scene or something. But Boa, I mean, what other word can you use to describe what slithers into the ring?
You know what? He went into business for himself.
This man completely embodied, like, I'm thinking Jake the Snake, but you're like, oh no, this guy's like this small, agile dude.
Yeah.
And he's got that punchable face and everything.
He's licking the snake. He's got a bow to let you know. He's really hitting you hard with that nickname.
They do this awesome overhead shot of the ring, and you see him like doing like these weird, slithery, fluid body motions and everything, and he's
like, is he breakdancing?
He was like breakdancing. He's licking his snake, and then he's taunting the crowd, and then he's taunting his opponent, Buck.
He looks like Refrigerator Perry.
He looks so old. He looks so out of the, like, fighting world, whereas Boa at least looks still fit.
He's got probably 300 pounds on Boa.
Oh my God. Yeah, Buck is large. And so Buck comes in the ring, full t-shirt.
Before he comes in the ring, he starts pounding a stool on his head.
Yeah, not pounding, tapping. He was just like barely. It was so weird. And there was just a bunch of stools around him. It was the weirdest fucking setup. No one's sitting there, just a bunch of little stools that he was just testing on his head.
That's his move.
All right. So we get an exhibition match of former shoot fight champions, I guess.
Yeah.
And so we start up and we see that the fluidity of Boa is like he is just outmatching Buck. It looks like.
Yeah.
So like Buck tries to get him like in a bear hug and he literally slithers over him. They did such a good job with this. The match is clean.
He steals the whole show in this scene. Like, he steals it. His fighting style is very reminiscent of, like, Dalsum from Street Fighter 2. You know? It's like, but he looks like, he kind of looks like the actor from Mad TV who played Stewart or whatever. Donald. Yeah, it's hilarious. And he's got these like whippy, like snake, like strikes. But his facial expressions are the funniest.
So good.
They're so good, and you can't help but laugh. And I think there's like he does like a reverse Sonya Blade type move where he like handsprings into like putting his legs around Buck's neck and then like pulling himself up into almost like a victory roll type deal, and whip kicks Buck out of the cage where he like comes near the snake and acts like really startled by it. And I mean, it's worth it. It's so good. I can't.
It's so good. Yeah.
So
I mean, everything about the shape of Buck versus Bo, you're thinking, well, shit, Bo is gonna win this match. His agility is just gonna win it out.
But Buck is like, you don't oversell in my matches, Buck.
Yeah, the Buck stops here.
Exactly. So he grabs him in a choke slam. You think he's gonna do that because he pins him up against the wall. No. Remember, this is an exhibition match, guys. So, like, you think you can oversell? I'm gonna rip your fucking heart out. He does a Mula Ram. He actually goes Kalima, and then and then the heart is on fire. It was crazy.
He did have a Paul Bearer in the audience.
Bucker Taker.
Underbucker.
And that's the people. This is just the exhibition. What else is gonna? What the heck? It's the opener.
This is the appetizer.
They're opening hot. They're hot shotting this fucking tournament, dude.
You show up to a restaurant, you're getting the 3-course meal, and your appetizer is a goddamn filet mignon prepared on a sword and filleted in front of you by Bolo himself.
What we're trying to say is Mr. Lee is a hell of a promoter. He knows how to set up a card.
Oh, yeah.
Booking excellently so far.
Yeah,
now we got to
bookend your card with like the first and the last match are usually the hottest.
Oh, yeah. You got to get that crowd into a frenzy right off the bat.
So now, like any good tournament movie, we got to have the scene where we introduce our characters. First, this guy, toughest name I've ever heard. Skeeter.
Skeeter?
Okay. And actually, there's a character.
Go ahead.
There's a character named Scooter in this movie, too, which I don't remember, but he's in the credits.
I don't remember either. But the thing about Skeeter, I guess like the actor's name is Kazja. I'm not really sure what his origin is, but I was doing a little bit of research, and apparently he was an underground fight promoter in California or something along those lines. Underground California fight promoter, and apparently this actor, the character guy who played Skeeter, he claims to be the originator of the octagon style fight ring, so people can't get pinned in corners. So that's apparently where the Octagon originated from, was from this guy who was like this underground fight promoter out of California.
Well, you might have
Did not
answered
know
our
that.
question because we were saying that at the beginning. Did this
Right.
fucking movie start the Octagon? And apparently we have
Got
at least
Skeeter,
a guy.
Skeeter, who's
Skeeter.
from Texas.
Like apparently he brought the production this whole idea too. Like that wasn't part of the original production. Like they were just going to have it more of like a blood sport style mat, and he's the one that brought this Octagon cage thing to their attention. So this is
Interesting.
possible that UFC did take it from old Kazja Eater, whose style of fighting is known as the Hawaiian art of bone breaking, which might explain his like big pants,
Sarong.
shorts. Yeah, that sarong thing that he had on.
We were talking about that the whole time. Right when Murray
He
arrived.
He looks like a homeless Magnum TA.
He looks like a homeless man.
He's Magnum PU.
Yeah.
Up next, Andreev from Romania. He's just some like Russian-looking guy.
Yeah.
We get Perez from Tijuana,
Yeah, that's the guy with
representing their hometown.
I think. Yeah.
We got Shadow from Brazil.
Now this would have been childhood Griff's favorite because I love the monkey fighters.
We got Mongoose from Canada.
He's our friend.
he's the-
Ruben still has that soft spot in his heart, and he finds another North American,
Right.
not
He's like the-
Mexican American, North American.
He's a poor man's Wolverine. He's Mongoose.
Yeah. He's got like the chef pants on too.
Yeah.
Creon from Greece.
Oh, that's the jobber guy that was with Thunderwolf.
Creon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And well, it makes sense because after the one left is Hawk from Montana.
Oh, and you said Native American. That actually does make. I was like, okay, this black dude with that hair, like from Montana, fuck you. But no, now it's making
Dude,
sense.
first of all, everybody's part Cherokee. Don't you know that?
Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah. First match, Creon versus Mongoose. Mongoose is doing great so far. He's holding his own.
Right.
Until the weapons get dropped in.
And how they introduced the weapons is so good because the match just kind of came to a natural like break point. And so the guys stand up because there is no rounds. There's nothing like that.
No.
But the guys just happen to kind of like break off and they're sizing each other up again. And then there's this one guy in a tuxedo outside the ring who's got access to a little prop gate like you would see in a prison cell where they slide open a gate to slide your food tray through. And he just like throws a couple weapons in. And the one fighter takes his and moves out of the way. And then they throw in the other set of weapons for Mongoose to grab. And he gets his weapon and they square up. And apparently Mongoose, I mean, he's got little swords. The other guy had like the kata sticks, I think. Or not kata, kama sticks, I thought. Okay. And so they actually just like, they were respectful about it. They let each other get each other's weapons. But apparently Mongoose is...
like first come, first serve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently
There's
Mongoose...
another like time issue because Mongoose loses.
Yeah.
He gets his throat cut.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that part.
Okay, you would know this, Paul, because you've lived in L.A. How long would it take to drive from L.A. to Tijuana?
3.5, roughly. Yeah, roughly
It
3.5 hours.
Apparently, they have the same portal that Mr. C had because Nick arrives like almost immediately,
And he doesn't even get to the right place. We got to remember that, too.
and we know Nick is pretty shady. He probably gets stopped at the border thinking he has drugs
With
on
that
him.
fucking ponytail?
Right. I wouldn't let him into my country.
In a vanity plate, 66 glide? These guys are probably like, what do you have on this bike? 66
I mean, they
glide?
could have just had him live in San Diego. Then it makes sense. It's right across the border.
right across the
no,
border.
we
Just
got to be
flip right over there.
So, all right, time doesn't matter in this.
No,
movie.
we've already done this whole thing. Time does not matter.
He heads to the old arena, which is I think where they was the locker room set up for the fighters because they were moved to the new arena.
Right. They have different arenas because, again, this is underground.
Right, you got to keep it moving.
So they got to
around.
move around. So Nick shows up to the old arena, and he's just walking around in this it's not abandoned, but it's lifeless. Like there's nothing happening. It's just
It's
calling
a
it.
crate. It's like a Sparks factory. This is a crate.
Yeah,
crate warehouse.
He lands into the supply factory.
I think the Ark of the Covenant might be in there.
It might be.
Yeah.
And so we're just shouting out, "Where are the finals? Hello, someone tell me where the finals are." He's just trying to, but he's for some reason, I can't get these words out. For some reason, he's wearing his leather jacket and the fight pants he was wearing.
Because he knows there's going to be a fight. And
Yeah.
You got to be comfortable.
So he's got to put on his I Fight for Tang orange highlighter pants for some reason. And it just so happens as he's calling out, Kong is like, "Hey, it's you." Why is Kong here? First of all,
yeah, you'd think he would be in the tournament.
not at
They
the
built
tournament.
this guy up so much.
Clearly, he's taken this year off for some reason, whatever. But he's here in the supply closet at this other place that they fight at. What the fuck is happening?
I think he was
But
hired to
he-
look out for Nick. Like Nick was missing, so it was like that other one's gonna show up. We just know it.
Yeah, apparently. So he's just like, "You're my favorite fighter, man. If you want to get to the finals, you gotta fight for it." So we know there's a fight that's about to happen there. But before we get to see that fight,
Cut back. Next up, Skeeter versus Perez.
fucking Magnum PU in action.
Get that musty sarong on. I don't remember any of the weapons.
It's
What weapons
just-
do they have?
I
here?
don't. Sticks. He had the drumsticks.
Sticks in this.
Yeah, I don't remember what
It'd
the
be
other
hard to kill
guy
somebody
had.
with a stick. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what the other guy had. It's
You
hard to remember
Paul?
a lot of
What
these
What
fights.
did Perez have?
I just remember there.
a burrito.
This was a.
What do you? We were just talking about this. You're a weapons master, Paul. What do you call the weapon that's like 3 sticks connected by chains?
I thought it was like triple chucks, but I don't know that it has a name.
In the notes.
Tri-chuck.
And the name in the notes, I called it the tri-chuck.
Yeah, that works. I think we'll go with that.
So we got Skeeter and Perez. There's a good back and forth here. The weapons get
50-50 booking.
Yep.
I wasn't a fan
the
of it.
weapons get removed quickly in it. Perez keeps, or not Perez, but Skeeter keeps going for like roll-ups and everything. He's got him like pinned, and I was like, "Is this real?" Because he kept folding him up like that, and the guy kept kicking out, and I was like, "Oh man, is Skeeter looks like he should handle this man." Well, Skeeter does end up getting the W. Why we're building up these matches? No reason, because they do play a Bloodsport 2 role in this where they disappear in a minute here, but at least we get a little bit more time with them. Anyways, Lee, he's up on his throne, loving this. He's having a good time. He sees all of his audience. They're loving everything.
Right.
They love Magnum PU. They lost Magnum PA 60 years ago. Magnum PU's alive and well.
Right. But no, who's not enjoying it? Ruben, because it's fine. He had to see 2 people die before it finally set in. Oh my God, I have to fight. To
Okay.
the death.
Skeeter gets Perez in the neck breaker, and then instead of dropping
Oh
with
yeah,
him,
he
he
did
just
he reversed like a weird Stone Cold Stunner, but he didn't go down.
yeah. It was intense. It
Yeah.
looked good. Yeah. Anyways,
So it's like seeing the guy's like throat slashed. His friend's throat slash didn't bother him that much, but seeing that really bad Stone Cold Stunner,
yeah,
it's like that's not how you do it.
He had the monogram Ron Garvin towel around his neck, and he just dropped it.
Don't
He's
bring
like,
up
I don't know
Ron
what I'm
Garvin. We're having a
doing
good
here.
timer.
I'm always gonna bring Ron Garvin up.
Back to Nick and Kong. They're in a
The
room,
supply closet.
room
Yeah, there was pinata confetti everywhere on the
Right.
floor. They want to have a stylized fight. They
They
get
go-
the broomsticks. They start going fucking back and forth because, of course, in order to get to the finals, he has to fight his way there.
And Nick, he's a master shoot fighter now. He learned from the master Shingo, so he doesn't have that too much trouble with Kong.
It's really a shitty fight.
Yeah, he
Like-
chokes him with his do-rag.
Like, okay, that was good. It wasn't his do-rag. I thought it was hair.
I thought it was his do-rag,
Oh,
like the back
hair,
of it.
do-rag.
I'd
Oh.
say, yeah, I don't. Maybe a do-rag. I can't. I'm trying to remember this one as much.
I don't know if he had hair. That's what I was.
I thought he had like the dread kind of hair, where it was just like the
I thought it was
big-
just the back of his do-rag.
It might
I
have
don't know.
been. Hey, we'll have to get.
Either way, he gets.
We'll get
choked.
Mattingly on
He
it.
gets choked to death.
Yeah.
Back to the competition. Now it's Andrea versus Shadow.
Baby Griff loving this. Shadow jumps into this ring.
course,
Full on Monkey Man.
Of course, you have to have the black character do Monkey. Come on, people. This is 1993.
Yeah.
This is where we get the Tri-Chucks. Did you notice? Okay, let's cut to the chase. Because we're seeing and he's really overplaying the monkey shit. He's eating a banana. He's hanging from the fucking.
He's screeching at the crowd. He's shitting in his hand and throwing it at people.
I like that. I like seeing rich people
like
get
that?
shit thrown at them.
And I like that they were opening their mouths for it. Like, rich people are
These people are sick.
They're sick.
They're watching people fight to the death. You don't think they wouldn't eat shit?
I don't know. Oh, have you ever been around any of these highfalutin types? Do they eat shit?
Yeah, no, they a lot of them bring their own shit, like in Tupperware. But
You gotta eat your own shit. You know where the other people have been.
Yeah, there's definitely like a scatological obsession with the rich. It's
Sick.
something that they feel like I've got so much money. Like, what are you gonna do if I get shit in my mouth and I eat it? Whether it's mine or some fucking hillbilly shoot fighters shit thrown at me or some, African monkey fighter. It doesn't really matter. I can eat
He
shit.
was Brazilian.
Yeah,
he was not African.
Okay, well, the Brazilian monkeys are much different, they got, they love that shit in their mouth, man.
I just want to point out, okay, he gets choked with the Tri-Chucks. The Tri-Chucks aren't on his esophagus at all. He's choking the back of his neck.
It's rough.
How did that kill him?
I don't know. Maybe he didn't.
Maybe he faked his death because he didn't want to fucking die.
Maybe. So now we have
with Eddie in the locker room.
So we have to have our moment now where Nick is wandering
This
through
would have
the
been a
finals.
perfect time to bring Haystack Hair.
Yes, 100%. Agreed.
Yeah.
Either when he's doing this or when Shingo's doing this.
Yeah.
Because, spoiler alert, Shingo's about to do the same fucking scenes here.
Yeah.
So Nick's just wandering through the hallways, and there just happens to be guys in tuxedos that charge at him, so he has to kung fu them down. And he demands... This is still in the other arena.
Right.
And because he beat Kong, but Kong did not tell him where to go.
Yeah.
So
he
he
forgot to ask him while he was choking him.
Yeah, exactly. So we had to go to another guy who happened to be wandering around in a tuxedo in the supply closet for some reason, chokes them
I
out.
love that even the security are so classy. They wear tuxedos.
Yeah.
That's class, Griff. That's what I'm going to do. The janitor has to wear a tuxedo in my fight fucking ring.
I like it. Oh, okay. And so he gets the location finally, and that's when we cut over. And now we know Nick's on his way. He's got the location now. But hey, it's time for Hawk versus Ruben. Thunderwolf versus Ruben. This is good. This is rough. Actually, this is very rough because they both get their weapons immediately, and they get swords. They both hold their swords like they have no idea. Okay, Paul, you would know this better than me or Murray. We have not studied the blade like you have. Are they both holding swords like fucking idiots? Like, did they get the Pistons kid from earlier's like mental condition, and now they don't know what to do with weapons?
Well, yeah, I think Serge Diamant, who played the Pistons kid, is also he's the weapons coordinator on this. So he taught them how to hold the swords, one hand up, one hand upside down. They do look like they're not as comfortable here, but I think that just plays into how great an actor William Zabka and Thunderwolf are, because they shouldn't really be comfortable holding katana blades. They're more like fist fighters, martial artists.
Okay.
I think they did their research months and months prior to filming what I guess would be like a 12-day production schedule on Shootfighter. And they probably thought we shouldn't be super comfortable with swords because we don't see Ruben holding a sword at any point during his training or anything. So the Thunderwolf, I could see Thunderwolf being more like having like a club like a mace,
Exactly.
or something like that. You know what I mean? But not a sword. So he doesn't seem like the most graceful type. So yeah, it was awkward, but I think it's also funny though. Like the ending of this fight scene is also really funny because if there's one thing
It
that
was
I
the
absolutely
worst.
I love guys dying, like when they get impaled, because we see.
Yes.
Does he run up on Ruben, or like he comes over to him and Ruben?
Yes, he threw himself on Ruben's sword.
Yeah.
And then
Ruben
Ruben, first of all, Ruben, like you were pointing out, Ruben is holding the sword like point down.
awkwardly.
Yeah. And he stares
okay.
at him as
Let
he's
me-
dying. It's like,
let me get.
sound, doesn't he? He's like,
I'll get us there because this fight's going horribly for Ruben. He's getting slashed up. He gets a slash across his arm. He gets a big slash across his back. He has no idea what he's doing. He's in deep waters here. He gets pinned against a cage. He ends up getting a little bit of ground and everything. He gets the sword knocked away from Hawk, and he knocks him down. He's got the sword on him. We see Nick run in, and he's like, no.
You don't have to kill him.
And then you have him staring. You have Ruben staring down on Hawk, and he's like, even though this is my new nemesis for life from the locker room when he said, I'm going to put you in a body bag.
No, he just said you better bring one.
Yeah, okay, whatever. He's like, I can't kill this man. The sweet, innocent Ruben is still in me. I still want to go bang. He doesn't even recognize her name anymore. He says, I still want to go bang
Cheryl?
Nick's sister. He doesn't even know her name at this point. He's got to remember that again. So he's like, I still want to go bang Nick's sister. And that's when Lee starts piping in, kid, match isn't over until you kill the man. I can't kill him. And he's got his sword pointing down, and the crowd is they're like booing him. They're throwing soda pops in there. Saw a fucking live condom get thrown in there and just stick to his head in that perfectly coiffed Ric Flair hair. And he's just like, what is this? And Lee's like, you gotta finish him. Well, thankfully, Hawk wanted some mercy
I think
or
he
something.
said something like, this isn't shoot fighting. He's like, this is the greatest form of combat at all. You must die or some shit like that.
But Hawk tries to do a kip up or something. No, Ruben is pointing his sword down.
Throws himself. Like, does he know? Like, is he like, this kid, the kid gets it. Killing is bad, so I'm going to sacrifice myself.
Yeah, like Hawk does the Undertaker, the Kane hinge or something into the sword that just happens to be pointed at his heart and kills himself. What was this?
He was so touched and moved by Ruben finding his humanity, he gave himself up for him.
It's the Native American way.
It is.
you don't have to kill him.
like-
You just have to kill yourself.
Right.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, but his
So-
death, come on, you can't help but laugh at that death where he's staring at him. Like if I ever
Oh, no.
kill somebody, I hope that they stare at me as they're dying, like with those like pleading eyes, and make some sort of like sound like
So, Lee's like, I got to calm every situation down because I still got to have a final. So he brings Nick and Ruben into his office.
Well, Nick, yeah, of course, he came in, made a scene, he gets captured.
This is my favorite scene because Nick's like, we're done. We're out of here. And then Lee goes, he signed a contract. Like, this is going to hold up in fucking any court. Like, a contract. You know, he's like...
underground illegal fighting, and where there are no laws.
I loved it because he's like, what are you doing here? And Nick just completely deflated goes, I'm here to take him back home. Yeah, he signed a contract. Like, this whole scene was just completely like, day 12, we got to get out of here. I'm sick of Mexico.
Yeah.
Mexicans aren't that good.
You got to remember, Lee, the whole point of this is to get Shingo. So Lee's just like, how can I fix this? Okay.
Well, yeah, immediately he's steepling his fingers. He's like, I got his two boys. These are his two best boys. This is it. I got him in the hole. And dude, he literally goes out, gets his Seinfeld phone.
Well, no, first, like, Nick agrees. Like, Nick's like, I will fight in his place.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then we get to go.
Yeah, I will fight in his place. Put me in any match. If I win it, we get to walk. Like, that's it. And Lee's like, yeah, sure. Any match with anybody. And then you guys can walk.
Just sign this contract right here.
Yeah, just sign the contract.
And then he
you should have known the deal was bad when the contract was written across his ass and you had to sign it.
Right.
Because...
Then he calls up Shingo at the restaurant. Shingo's always working. And he's like, I want my honor and my title back, Shingo. I have your boys. Come down here and meet me.
Well,
and he's like, Shingo doesn't know what to do. He hangs up. He doesn't even answer.
He doesn't even say anything. He looks at his mom. His mom reads his eyes and goes, you need to fight. Oh.
Fight for those boys. It is your destiny.
It is your destiny.
And then he's like, well, I can't argue with my mom, so I guess I'll get on that bullet train to fucking Tijuana. I mean, I think what he did
He's going to jump into that time portal.
He got Jill and Cheryl in the car, and they went in the carpool lane, so it was a smooth sailing all the way down.
Of course, the carpool lane.
Right. He makes it in record time, or maybe it's just like Lee stalling for time. It's like, another donkey show.
Well, we did talk about that. It's a very
maybe as midgets fight to the death for people. I don't know,
or little people.
Are they really? They're little, but are they really people? It's an argument. It's an argument for another time. So, all right, this is for all the marbles, Nick. Well, yeah. Nick goes in thinking he's going to fight like
anybody.
This is the thing. This is AEW booking. What happened to Skeeter and Andreev and all these other guys who won? They're out.
Everybody else has disappeared. Yep, you're right. It's 100% AEW booking. Everyone's just gone now, and they're like, "Hey, Ruben, you fought really well there. You just take the night off now." And it's like, oh, okay. And they bring Nick out, and so the audience, everybody is just like...
this is another thing about time. You're right. He says, you get the night off.
Yes.
And he goes in the locker room where he has the picture of Cheryl on his mirror.
And he's staring at it. He's pulling his Ric Flair hair back, and he's like, what am I doing? I need to get back to her. I need to get back to me.
Right.
I need to get back to
then
Shingo.
I think Mr. C walks in, like, you're up next. They just told him he had the night off.
Exactly.
And he goes along with it. He's like, oh, yeah.
Well, again, he's still got the bloodlust. You were talking about that Viking blood chant thing that they would do, and they would get the people, the berserkers. Maybe they did a little bit of that with him.
Maybe. He's got that blonde hair. He might have some Viking blood in him.
Okay.
That would have been a great fighter, a Viking fighter. What the fuck?
We've done so many of these tournament movies. We've never got a Viking.
You did
fighter.
know we did American Ninja,
Samurai,
American Samurai,
Right.
Yeah,
yes, you're
right.
That was
like our 4th or 5th episode.
That was a long time ago, but I still remember those locker room scenes in that movie. Fantastic. Wait, Paul, have you seen American Samurai?
I have not. I've heard of it. Is it with Gary Daniels? No, not Gary. Gary. From American Ninja 4. Is that
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name, but yeah, that guy.
I don't remember either. There's definitely.
It also has the guy that played the Crow on the TV show. What's Mark Dacascos?
I don't remember any of these names.
That's right.
He's
Mark
the villain in it. Yeah.
It was just really funny because we did it. We did 2 episodes within 3 weeks or something, where it was the same storyline, where it was like an American kid goes to Japan, his parents die, and some sensei happened to be there, like, I'll adopt you, white kid. Right. So, yeah, it's one of those movies. It's very entertaining, and you should watch it.
First, you listen to our episode and then go watch it.
Yeah, maybe do that.
I will listen to the episode and then go watch it.
It'll be interesting.
Guys, so, I hate to do this. I actually need to run. I'm sorry I can't. I'm not going to be able to finish. I feel horrible because I know we're getting real close to the finish, but I'm being summoned.
Right.
And
we understand.
It's okay. You got to go.
But I feel like you guys.
You got to go hide under the mat.
We can wrap it up.
I feel like you guys.
We've done 200 of these.
I know that y'all can, and I know y'all. I know Shootfighter's in great hands with you guys. I feel terrible.
Don't worry about it.
I owe you guys one, maybe Shootfighter 2. I'm sure we'll have less to laugh at. But do Shootfighter, Nick, Ruben, and Lee proud. I know you guys We'll do Shingo proud. And thank you guys for letting me come on and have some laughs, man. You guys are awesome.
Thank you for coming on. We'll get you back on for something else.
Absolutely. Maybe Showdown.
There we go.
Sounds good.
All right. Take it easy.
Guys, I'll talk to y'all soon, okay?
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Here we are. For all the marbles.
This is the most interesting episode we've ever done. So, okay. We've got, I mean, come on. We got the biggest match of the night. We've got the fucking two kids, the hot prospects going one.
Well, we don't know that yet because Nick comes into the ring thinking he's going to fight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's where we went on it. We really got off trail there.
And then Ruben walks in, and Ruben's ready to go.
Yeah. Well, because Ruben, they set this up well early in the movie. These two have been kind of like, I'm better than you. No, I'm better than you. And, they had a nice little feud, but now Ruben's berserker mode. So he's just like, finally, I get to fucking prove I'm better than you. So he's all fucking gung-ho for it. And Nick's like, no, man, you need to kill the fuck out.
Well, no, Nick's like, I'm not going to fight you.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit. And Lee's like, you must fight. And that's when all of a sudden, you're like, no!
Well, no, they do fight for a little while. It's getting intense. And they're bloodied up. And Nick gets Ruben pins. And he's got a stick over him. He's like, I can't do this, man. I can't do this. And Lee is getting unsettled. The audience is getting all, they're like getting enraged and everything. And that's when you hear, let my students go. And it was definitely Bolo Yeung who said that line there.
And then Lee, he's like, he finally got what he wanted. He's like, all right, I'll let them go if you fight me.
So Shingo had arrived, and he got the Nick treatment where he was walking the halls of the building and just beating up on people so we could see that he still has it.
Did Lee tell him where the fucking fight was?
I guess so. I mean, Lee would. Lee would tell him exactly where to go, because why wouldn't he? Lee wants him there.
Yeah.
So that makes sense that he would know exactly where to go. I don't know how Shingo knows Tijuana so well, but hey, maybe this is the shoot fighter lifestyle. Maybe this is like a normal place for shoot fighters.
I don't know.
I don't know either. So anyways, yeah, he says, stop, let my fucking students go.
If Lee wins this fight, though, the boys still have to fight. So Shingo's really got to win this fight.
Yeah.
So they get in there. Fucking Lee just takes off his fucking jacket. He's in his tuxedo still. He's got dress shoes on.
I know. I was like, you're fighting to the death with your rival, and you're like, I'm not going to put on normal action pants. I'm just going to...
No action slacks for this guy.
Yeah. This is incredible. I was surprised by this.
So they're handed spears. They're going back and forth. And I think that Shingo, he kind of controls the fight. I don't remember him ever being in trouble.
Well, Lee does get a power kick in there. He gets a fucking, he kicks Lee or Shingo so hard that he like crashes through the cage and actually like knocks part of the fence out. But, it's not enough. Shingo pops right back up and he's fighting again.
I think Lee snaps Shingo's spear, so there's two spears.
Exactly. He kicked through the spear, I guess, and this is what you heard me open the episode with. And so all the crowd is hushed after Shingo goes through the cage, and he gets up and he goes shh, and the whole crowd just listen. They somehow hear him say shh, because Bolo Yeung just has a power voice. He's like Black Bolt.
That's for sure.
He's like Black Bolt when he uses his voice. It's like it deafens everybody. And so then he just starts busting out that beat on that drum.
And then you hear this slowly, like really hushed. This is awesome.
Fight forever.
This is and then the whole crowd
Fight
is roaring.
forever.
And then he just goes, oh, and it stops.
This man is work. No, I'm not gonna do that.
And that pumped the shit out of me. They hear that "This is awesome" chant. He pummels the fuck out of Lee. Just beats the shit out of him.
He backs him up into a corner. He does the Eddie Kingston machine gun chops with the he's just drumming on him. He's like, I'm Neil fucking Peart, bitch. And he's just wrecking this guy's pecs. And he pops up and he's like, oh.
Looks like Jericho's pecs.
Yeah.
And like Martin Kove is looking like Rocky at the end of the fucking first movie. And he says he's going to show him mercy. He's not going to even kill him. He walks away from him. But you never walk away from a snake-like
look, we've got Bolo moves to get into this fight, like an AEW match. And I saw Bloodsport 1 when I saw Bolo doing these moves. The knees, because he pinned Lee against the cage, and he was doing the knees that he used. Those
Muay Thai knees. Yeah.
Beautiful. And then Lee drops to the ground, and he hits him with that big... Wait, was that after the knife attack that he hits? Yeah, it is after the knife attack. Yeah. So he fucks Lee up. Right. He roundhouses him 100 times. He does the knees. Lee is backed into his corner. He's shitting himself. He's pissing himself. And then, like a great sneaky heel from that wrist guard, pulls a little butterfly knife.
And he does the most... I call back to this all the time, the Jim Carrey in Living Color sketch where he's the karate teacher, and he's like, no, come at me like this with your arm like super straight. He comes at him with his arm super straight, like charging at him.
Yeah, yelling at him.
Fucking Shingo sidesteps it, just grabs his arm in like an arm bar. Steven Seagal's this fucking arm, it just snaps, sickening fucking snap. Guy collapses, obviously. Just had his arm destroyed.
Right.
And then he just does the flying fucking knee drop.
Right out of Bloodsport as well.
Crushes the back, kills Lee. And then we just cut to him on a beach doing Tai Chi.
We show him as the crowd is going fucking crazy. Money flying around. The woman in the red glittery dress is she's just lowered her tits. They're everywhere. Everybody's going fucking crazy. We get the close-up on Shingo, and he just looks like, why am I here? He's devastated. He's like, I didn't want to do this again. And here I am, and I just murdered a human being. And then, we don't get to see our beautiful baby boys anymore. We just cut to him doing Tai Chi on the beach.
Yeah, and then roll credits.
That's the perfect way to end. We should have ended this episode 2.5 hours ago.
Yeah, we had a first, but in Paul's defense, we talked about wrestling like for an hour before we even started recording.
Yeah,
so he put in his time.
We always have too much fun. We have a guest member.
So we want to give another thank you to Paul for being such a great guest and for introducing this movie into our lives. I don't know if we probably would eventually got to it, but it could have been years from now.
It doesn't matter.
I couldn't go another year without seeing that Bolo basketball scene.
I needed that Bolo basketball. I told you guys, it saved my day yesterday. I needed it.
One of these days we'll figure out how to do a tight episode with guests.
One of these days.
But it wasn't this day, unfortunately. But anyway, thanks to Paul London for being a good sport and coming on, sharing this movie with us. Griff, next week we're doing a fucking big movie. We've been doing these kind of little obscure ones. We need to go big. We're doing a Predator. Predator 2. You're probably thinking, oh, yeah, because you guys did Predator? No, we didn't do Predator, but that's how we roll. We don't do movies in order. And you're in luck, because my question to you is, does Predator 1 have Gary Busey in it?
No.
Well, that's why we're doing Predator 2.
I need those teeth in my life.
But we're doing, I mean, come on, of course we're going to do Predator eventually. It's a fucking classic Schwarzenegger movie, but... That's for another time. That's
when Joe Coleman's available and ready to talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger's penis.
Yeah, him and his dad know all about the contours.
Yeah, we're getting in the
empty out that catheter, people. See you next week for Predator 2, and as always, keep it warm.